All right. So here we go again. So why do seagulls fly over the sea?
I don't know. Why do seagulls fly over the sea?
Because if they flew over the bay, they would be called bagels.
We had to wait for that.
Do you know, I nearly read that one out the other day from my dad joke book. I actually rejected that one. My filter censored that one out.
I don't blame you for skipping that one.
Well, I do quite like it.
Okay, welcome everyone to the Underground Sound. I am DJ Exile. With me are two gentlemen, Smart Monkey and Carlos Fandango. Together, we are putting the us back in the music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll find the music that you love to hear.
And if you don't mind clicking on the little bell, and we'll send you all the telegrams of whenever Tom uploads new videos of the Underground Sound.
Are we out of electricity?
He's in a cave today. He forgot to mention.
You know how long it took me to get all this prepared? It took ages because the candle was slightly wonky at the bottom, so I had to burn all that off with these little matches that kept burning up quickly. And then I had to burn, there was a tiny little wick at the top, and then it wouldn't stick. It took, I don't know how Victorians got along, but life must have been difficult.
Life.
I'm quite
well, I mean, they dripped a little bit of wax onto the thing.
Exactly, that's what I was doing. Yeah. But you know, try and do that when you're me and not burning yourself. I mean, it's such a splodge of wet. See what I mean?
There's going to be a fire there.
Now I'm covered in wax. As soon as you're going to be wondering what I've been up to.
All right. Yes. Yeah, Carlos Fandango is covered in wax.
Wax, yes. Well, that was supposed to be erotic. It's not. It burns.
Oh,
well, that wasn't erotic at all, was it? It's all coming off like sunburnt, peeling skin now.
It would be only Carl that would like tip the candle forward.
Check the bottom. The curtains are on fire over here.
Like you have no idea what's going on. All right, but oh goodness.
I know people do try and get me with the old when you've got the glass in your hand. What's the time, Carl? I know. I'm not stupid. I'm just clumsy.
Okay, welcome to episode number 40 of the Underground Sound. Oh my goodness! Thank you for today's show. Thank you to today's show sponsor. Big shout out to Nathan Brashear of Monsters Are Real. Please do visit monstersarerealmusic.com and check out Nathan's body of work there. Also, please do visit the video description below, and you'll find all the links to the artists, to the hosts, and basically all the tags and everything that we use. You'll find everything in the video description there. So please do check that out and spread some love for these musicians and. Because undoubtedly we do need to put some of this indie and underground music in the spotlight. So we've been having a ton of fun. So episode 39 was a little bit longer than usual, as most of you have seen, 4 hours and 18 minutes. But that's just what we do here on the Underground Sound. We talk about music and we have a lot of fun. And speaking of music, let's get to our track number 1, our show opener, as it were. Carlos Fandango, what can you tell me about this song?
Yeah, the next song is by act called the Riot Boots. So the Riot Boots is basically it's Espen Rod. Well, I'm going to say Rogne, Rogne, from Sandvika in Norway. Is a musician, singer, and guitarist songwriter in the Riot Boots. So the Riot Boots is a band. Their influences actually include Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Thin Lizzy, Aerosmith, Eric Clapton, Gary Moore. Johnny Cash, Simon & Garfunkel, and Bob Dylan. So it's quite a reasonably eclectic, but very classic retro sort of sounding mix. Very little of those acts spill over into this track, but I do think it's a pretty good opening show starter. I can tell you also that the comments on slaps.com include Hell Yeah, Dope, ASD, which is lots of S's and a D. Dope, Deem, D-E-A-M. I don't know what Deem is. You tell me what that means. Nice, nice, nice with fire. Great riff, and wow, swagger and attitude for days. Cool song. See what you think.
All right. I also see here a whole bunch of clapping hands. So with still not really bad stats here for being posted 1 month ago. 77 plays, 3 saves, 113 blah 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 blah, 113 fires. Kind of makes me think that this song is going places. So here we go. The Riot Boots with Bumpy Ride. Let's check it out.
Wherever you going, don't make it a rush. I make it clear so you don't blush into the red. White in you will be right here where I want you to. The light in the end of the tunnel is another runaway train. The engine's running hot, burning right down the lane where lights are flashing, blinding my eyes. Hold on tight, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Where do you fit in? Where should you go? You're not for hiding, you're for the show. Where you shine your eye to make me stay. It winds and it winds, just go your way. To the light in the end of the tunnel is another runaway train. The engine's running hot, burning right down the lane. Red lights are flashing, blinding my eyes. Hold on tight, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. You talk too much when you have nothing to say. Well, it's got to the point. It's got to the point of I don't care. I don't blame you for being a flush. Just join me here for a night of hush. The light in the end of the tunnel is another runaway train. The engine's running hot, burning right down the lane. Red lights are flashing, blinding my eyes. Hold on tight, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, that one was Bumpy Ride by the Riot Boots. Cracking track for a show opener. Smart Monkey.
Yes, agreed. So I'm getting sort of 80s rock vibes from this. I'm getting that's a bit of a not quite what happened there. I had oddly enough, I had a bit of Def Leppard coming from this, and although the vocals aren't 100%, it just had a kind of feel of that for me, and a bit of ZZ Top in its like construction and guitar play in places. Really enjoyed the guitar work on this one actually, and there's that change at around the 220 mark, which just sort of it adds that element of additional interest in it, and then you get this nice guitar solo that blows on, just keeping the interest in this song, making sure there's variety, ebb and flow going on. Love the vocals. I thought they were nicely done, and again, there's like some subtle effects being applied. They're not overdone, but when they are done, they're just keeping that interest factor there and making it less monotonous. So yeah, all in all, a pretty good rocky number. I like that.
Definitely a nice rocky number. I would say that this falls into what I would consider country rock, kind of like gives off that little bit of a vibe to it for me. Carlos Fandango.
Interesting, good show starter. I think the cough Rob did was sort of like one of those polite cocktail parties, sort of, and and I wouldn't like to blow my own trumpet, but well, that kind of thing. So I think actually that could be the theme of the show, or it could be it's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a theme of the show, so we shall see. But all I'd like to say is welcome to Riff Central in Riff City. Please enjoy your stay. So basically, if you look at everything about this song, it's well considered and well thought through, well constructed. The middle eight, or what I thought was the middle eight sort of bridge section, had some nice harmonies in, and then they had a sort of different section after that with the solo in. But the solo and the sound of the guitar is a little bit influenced, I think, by Hendrix and his sort of Band of Gypsies. Well, just pre-Band of Gypsies days, but that sort of machine gun song sound. A few retro sort of vibes in there coming through. Scandinavian accents coming through a little bit in the singing, which is, I think, complements the singing and the style. I really like it personally, and his vocals are good. They're gruff and growly, but you can hear all the words being spoken. It's fantastic. So it's really good. Spoken, I say sung. Really, it was sung. And the artwork. If you check out the artwork, and I'm sure Tom will be able to share this in a minute. It's crazy, fun, and ridiculous and brilliant. I love it. Really good. But I think that song's really good. Really enjoyed that song, actually. I like it a lot. Good song.
I did as well. So I'm definitely picking up on what I kind of thought a little bit is, we've talked about Peaky Blinders on the show before, and of course, Nick Cave, Red Right Hand, is the theme song for that. So I kind of like got a little bit of a Nick Cave vibe. But what I like about it is there's not a ton of comparison here, right? Because this does really sound like an original piece of music. So even though the influences that Carl had mentioned, prior to the song playing really didn't shine through in the song, I got to say it's very enjoyable. This could once again be something that could be on a Peaky Blinders soundtrack, on a Sopranos soundtrack. We had Ben Melling, who did a song where we talked about that could be on a Sopranos soundtrack. I think this one would fit nicely with that. Did get a little bit of ZZ Top as Rob had mentioned there. So I wrote down that the accent breaks through, but it's really not that big of a deal because it really does complement the song, because when you add the vocal effects throughout the song, that just really gives it that much more power. So it's nice, it's gritty, and I think that as Carl had mentioned, that the artwork definitely complements the song. So check this artwork out.
I hadn't seen the artwork, but it's brilliant.
Fart coming out and the upside down cat.
I didn't even notice the fart. There's a violin flying.
There's a couple of farts actually.
There is, because right under Bumpy Ride on the hood of the car, you can see that this is like a horse farting. Maybe that's a tail. I don't know. But it's
Ferrari, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe could be
sort of Ferrari.
Sort of.
There's three people. Oh, so everybody's farting in this one. My goodness.
Yeah, it does look that way. Yeah. Except the cat. I don't think the cat's farting. It looks like he's dying.
The cat's dead. Oh my God.
The Riot Boots right there traveling down Route 66. It looks like I can see the 66 over there. So Cool song. Very nicely done. Very much enjoyed that one. So song number 2 we got going on here is I'm assuming this is Maleja with
Yeah,
Strong Enough.
yeah, I would agree. Maleja. From Bogota in Colombia. Colombian artist explores the sounds of pop, R&B, soul, Latin, pop, and alternative rock. So influences include Natalia Lafourcade, Harry Styles, Billie Eilish, Alicia Keys, Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Madonna, and Coldplay, among others. And this song, Strong Enough, says, "Stop bullying. This song is looking for the generation of an against bullying." Yes, is looking for the generation of an against bullying campaign. I'm sure we're all against bullying, but it's kind of one of those things that's a sort of natural thing often in human nature, but it's not nice all the same. So let's see what she has to say. There's not been many comments about this one. I mean, one says very good song. I said a positive message song. And one says, yo, this is clean. And that's about it. It would be nice to hear a few more comments from people, see what you think.
Yeah, so and these are the contrasts with the music that we listened to here is also posted 1 month ago, but only 21 plays, 1 save, and 40 fires on the song. It sounds like the song has a pretty solid message so far too. It's strong enough with Stop Bullying and the anti-bullying campaign. I do wholeheartedly agree with that because kids do tend to take things to heart. Some stuff may be in good fun, but nonetheless, we should definitely look out for that, and we should definitely stop the hardcore, I should say, bullying. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of riffing here and there, right? But the bullying does need to go. It really doesn't have any place because once again, children are very susceptible to a lot of things there, right? So comments made can hurt. So here we go.
I just was always taught, just what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But there's right and wrong in that message. It's just finding the balance right. As a kid, I was a fat kid, so a fat man now. But fat kid, I used to be, I say bullied, but I used to sort of joke my way out of it, kind of thing. So I think it does build your character. I've got to say, it can do. It can either destroy you or make you.
Well, with social media the way that it is today, bullying's more prominent, and I think that a lot of people use the social media aspect of it. Children, I should say, a lot of children use the social media aspect of things to do the whole cyber bullying as what they're talking about. And I do know firsthand that is especially. I think maybe guys kind of like go through it maybe a little bit easier, but girls especially, when they're going through their teenage years and they have self-esteem issues already, and now everything's being blown up online. It's like, why does this person hate me? And it's just it's a vicious cycle. It really is. So yeah, that kind of stuff I think definitely needs to stop. So what you're talking about is a little bit of riffing, a little bit of kind of like observational kind of like bullying is one thing, but really taking it to different extremes where you're really trying to demean and demoralize somebody completely is another separate subject, right? So we could talk about this forever. Let's talk about it more after we listen to the song. Here we go with Strong Enough by Maleja. Let's check it out.
Once upon a time there was a girl who was really kind, a girl who thought her world was grand, but she kept on shine, she kept on growing, forevermore, coming back from school with her sad and sorrow face, and it felt bad, whoa, 'cause they ain't gonna right to treat her like that, and she was alone, but she kept on showing, she kept on growing, 'cause she's strong enough, she's strong enough. but she kept on shine, shine. She kept on growing, growing, 'cause she's strong enough. She's strong enough. She kept on shine, shine. She kept on growing, growing, 'cause she's strong enough. She's strong enough. She's strong enough. So you bully just don't hurt anyone else. So you bully stop changing yourself. 'Cause I'm
All right, Strong Enough by Maleja there, available on Spotify and YouTube as well. Somebody had made the comment that the vocals could be a little bit louder as they're lost in the mix. Smart Monkey, what do you think?
It sounded well. They belted out on my side here, so I don't know. I'm hearing it for the first time. So this week, I have to admit, I'm listening to all the tracks for the first time this week. Normally, I give them a pre-listen, so I haven't got the benefit of hearing it in all my nice speaker setup. But it sounded really nice. It sounded a nicely constructed song. The vocals were beautiful, and I liked the kind of vulnerability they conveyed. They're very soft, and they're very, even though the vocal isn't, it belts it out. It's the sort of almost childlike tone to those vocals that gives it, that offers this kind of vulnerability to it. And you know, the first thing I just thought was this would just sit beautifully in a Disney movie or a DreamWorks film. You could just see it being a very key part of the film, an emotional vocal piece. It would just work. It would just stand out. And yeah, and then as it builds towards the end, she's really belting out those verses. They're really good. So yeah, I was quite impressed with this, to be honest. Really enjoyed it. And given the content and what it's about and the bullying side of it, you know, it manages to convey that well with its vulnerability and its childlike almost tones. Like I say, it just works. It's a beautiful song.
Agreed. Interesting tidbit here is at 11 years old, she has composed more than 6 songs in lyrics and music, including her first single, Strong Enough, in 2022. So, yeah, at 11 years old, I'm assuming 12 years old, probably at this point, from May to May. I mean, a year has passed. So, very impressive at 11 to have done this. And, you know, I'm thinking bright future ahead. Carlos Fandango.
Definitely a bright future ahead. Funny, the first words I wrote were vulnerable vocals, so I'm just in sync completely with Rob on this one, and probably the same will be for Tom as well. But very nice vocals, very high vocals, because obviously she's got a young voice still, so that will probably change slightly, but not necessarily dramatically. I like them as they are. They're good. You know, it's got a very contemporary sounding vocal. It's definitely very X Factor final or semi-final vocal, that kind of song that you'd hear and the crowd would be whooping and cheering. And it would be an emotional song as well if she did that live. So delivers the vocal really well. And again, you know, there's strength in the vocal when it needs it as well, because that's what the lyrics are saying. You know, I'm with you. You've got somebody behind you, and you know that's where you find your strength is in yourself and other people around you. The piano, it's fairly basic sort of piano sound, but that's all it needed because the vocal shone then. But the string arrangement was really nicely done. I'd like to know if that was Maleja as well, or yeah, if that's been arranged by somebody. But it was a very sympathetic arrangement on the strings because it really had a lot of ebb and flow, and it sort of ebbed away at the right times. It was just very nicely done, all in all. And she's definitely got bright future ahead for sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna say probably, you know, Taylor Swift, Eat Your Heart Out here. You know, very reminiscent of the kind of like you know, jaunted relationships and kind of like breakup songs. This one obviously sending a very positive message. I do think that the vocal delivery was absolutely fantastic. Like, wow, at 11, Carlos had mentioned the same thing, is that her voice will change, but it will change minimally. I don't think that this would be the same as a boy singing and then going through puberty and having to kind of like hit these notes again, right? So towards the 3/4 mark of this song, she really belted out those high notes, and agreeing with Rob here 100% that this could definitely be used in a Disney movie somewhere. Absolutely. Should be no doubt about that. Yeah, I mean, I really have nothing but good things to say about this. Sounds like a really great production. Everything kind of like, fit into where it needed to be. Voice is fantastic. Once again, very bright future for Maleja here. So congrats on this song and all the other work that you've done. And we wish you the best of success. We hope to hear more from you in the future. Maybe we'll catch you when you're 30 and you're touring stadiums. So good luck. Moving on, our first installment up, the Purple Ball of Destiny.
Right, we have the ball. And one hand, one bowl, that's all we need, and a load of categories, and we just squish them around. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the really extremely exciting part of the show where we're picking out a random song, the latest hot off the press on slaps.com, and we have a load of categories. We can just randomly pull out a category, a genre, at the behest of one of the two co-hosts here. Well, host and co-host. Sorry, it sounded like I was the host there. I'm not. Tom's the host. Tom's the main guy. Don't know if Soki's going to join us. Soki was in a funny mood earlier, so a bit tired. Been out on the Raz last night, been out on the old tiles, painting the town red.
Did you spill some wax on him as well, huh?
No. He's done enough spilling last night. Made a bit of a scene of himself down at the pub, I think. So
tell us more. Tell us more. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Well, as I'm just making it up, maybe
tell us what happened.
Okay. Well, all I know is he crawled in. Slithered in. I don't know what socks do, but they crawled in at 3 o'clock in the morning ish, and I was not best pleased having to get up in the middle of the night.
Put it back in the sock drawer.
Put it back in the drawer and to sleep. He was singing some bawdy songs that he knows from the rugby club. How Sock plays rugby, I don't know. I think he'd be playing football. Right, so
it's a sports sock then.
Sports sock, indeed, it's sports sock. Yes. So you call it, and let's see what comes up.
Okay, stop.
I was looking at it again, wasn't I? Oh, we got two here. Left hand or right hand?
Let's go with
well,
left.
my left. Your right.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, so let's go with left.
Your left or my left?
Your left. I understand.
My left hand, your right. Okay.
Yes.
Right you are. Oh, we haven't. I don't know if we've had this one before.
Blues.
Hey, look at that.
I don't think it's just not focusing, is it, these days? Maybe it needs the hand there.
Or does it say elves? I think it says elves.
Elves, yes. Elves.
You can find the elves category for us.
That's the one. That's what you need. Elves. Right, let's just see if we can muster Sock up. See what we can do. Oh, I don't know what I've pressed, but Sock did that. It says new quick note. Oh, it's gone now. That's right. Thank goodness for that. It's gone. Oh, jokes. Sorry. I meant to give you a joke or two. I didn't know if you had one ready at all, Rob. You've been sunning yourself. I wasn't sure if you had the chance.
I haven't really been doing much stand-up comedy recently.
Well, I've got, what time was it when the flea and the fly passed each other? Fly past flea.
Oh, my God. I must be able to find a joke here somewhere.
Waiter. I'll have a crocodile sandwich and make it snappy. What's the maximum sentence for bigamy? Two
No idea.
mothers-in-law.
Oops, I talked over you.
Two mothers-in-law.
It's like I talked over your punchline.
I said 2 mothers-in-law. Oh dear. I call my dog Isaiah. Why do you call your dog Isaiah? Because one's one Isaiah than the other. Oh, that's pretty bad. I won't do any more because that's pretty much torture, isn't it? That was really bad.
Yeah, that was.
Sorry
That
about
was
that.
terrible.
Do you still have the category that was in your right hand?
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's in here.
Oh, is it? Just
Although the top one there, I think it might have been ambient because that was the top one that was on there. Ambient.
okay. I got to tell you, I'm disappointed here because the first thing that I saw was stuff that looked like hip hop.
Oh, it
And,
normally is. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, I'm probably about 12 or 15 songs down the list, like kind of like sampling the sounds, and absolutely nothing sounds like blues. So
This is the thing. I was listening through Slaps earlier, and there was something in Chill Out, which was hip hop rap. A few songs in country that were hip hop rap. I don't know why people are just mislabeling these songs so badly. Yeah, maybe they just want them to stand out or something, but they stand out like a sore thumb when they're in the wrong category. That's for sure. There was big band. It was hip hop. There was ambient. There was hip hop. It's just honestly this.
Yeah, they're just posting against all the categories, aren't they?
yeah, it kind of seems like just throwing it up against the wall and seeing where it sticks, but it really none of it sounds like blues. And as we're talking, I'm still like kind of like going down the list here and sampling the songs, and yeah, none of this sounds at all blues. So Saki.
Yeah, Socky is looking, I think, pleased with himself, but he's actually looking very tired. If you look at the normal eyes, the way they look. So basically, Socky's just looking a little bit tired of the normal. Yeah.
Hungover.
Yeah, hungover. Very hungover.
I would have thought
Shame.
Saki would have had enough after last week's show. So
Yeah.
hopping out to the bars, staying out till 3 o'clock in the morning. That's what you get, Saki.
Oh, I've realised it's what it was. It was I do you remember I gave a bit of the rum liqueur, I think, didn't I? I've made
I think he
Socky
was drinking it behind your back whilst you weren't looking.
I think I might have made Socky an alcoholic. I'm sorry. I might have done something really bad here. So sorry if I've started you off on the alcohol. No, actually, maybe Socky was already like that. He's had a skinful anyway. Terrible. He's not saying much, is he? I'm not surprised.
He's not. He's very quiet. I mean,
Yeah, it's what you like when you have
Socky,
too much.
tell us something. Tell us what you got up to that night. I'm still intrigued. Till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Me no remember.
I bet you don't.
Me remember nothing at all. Nothing to speak of. See, thank God for that, Socky. Got me out of a hole there. So, what have we got going on in?
Are we going into ambient then?
Ambient?
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we had ambient, didn't we?
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm still looking in the blues category. I actually found a pretty what sounds to be a pretty decent electronica song in the blues category. So
Ambient electronica by any chance?
no, it's very no, not at all. It's very much like saw basses and so very dancey kind of stuff. Ambience. Okay. Few more jokes then.
Right then, what you got there for us then, Rob?
Oh God, I ain't got much. We had our annual snail race down the pub today. Entered my snail Sid. I don't know if I've done this one before. If I have, I apologise. I thought I'd gain an advantage by removing Sid's shell. But if anything, it made him more sluggish.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh dear.
I'm sorry. And okay, my opening joke was cheesy, huh? Okay.
Tough crowd. My wife always says, cheer up, you could be trapped in a deep water-filled tunnel. I know she means well.
That's all right. That's good. Yeah, yeah. Must have been fun. I don't get right. What am I missing on this? Oh, I see. Okay. No, I don't think I do get it completely. Right, listen to this one. I was just passing a field and heard something go tick tock, moo, bang. It was abominable. Abominable. I don't get it. Is that meant to be funny? I get the bomb bit, but I don't get the moo bit.
What
Was it supposed to be? It was a bomb move.
No, it just says it was abominable.
Bamoob? I can't even say it now.
A bomb bull. All right, bull.
All right,
It's got to be something to do with the bull at the end.
This is a fail-safe one, surely. Where do sheep get their hair cut? At the barbers.
Yes.
Now I'm still trying to figure out the abominable one.
Oh, abominable!
A bomb in a bull.
A bomb in a bull. Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't make it any funnier that we figured it out. You know,
I just mean to be slow.
what does a spy do when he gets cold?
Don't know.
He goes undercover.
Yeah,
Anyway, so our newest ambient song here is by a group called Ambient House, and the name of the song is Motion 4, presenting screen now. Don't screen so nobody steals my material. Motion 4 is the name of this song by Ambient House. Finding out a little bit more about Ambient House, there's a lot to say here. It's been a big part of my life since the day I picked up a guitar and realized I could play. I had been in a number of alternative rock bands, which gave me some insight into music and the music industry. Getting in the house, yada, yada, yada. I have well over 15 years of music hanging around on my computer. Like, who doesn't, right? I'm pretty sure that all three of us, I should say, have about like a good 15, 20 years of probably admittedly questionable music hanging around on our computers, but we just can't bring ourselves to delete the stuff that we had created. So says that a little bit of synthwave, 48 influences include Megadeth, AC/DC, Bass Hunter, Gorillaz, Blur, Daft Punk, MGMT, Soundgarden, Green Day. Sounds mostly rock-ish, but this one is, once again, Motion 4 by Ambient House. Let's check it out. It's fine. Okay, so let's see. Oop, hold on, because that one jumped down a page here. Once again, Ambient House with Motion 4. Bit of an ethereal track, I think. Smart Monkey.
Yeah, so that was a nice little choice there in the end from our Purple Bowl. Didn't disappoint as an ambient track at all. Unfortunately, I'm not hearing it, like I say, on my best setup here. So I definitely want to go back and have another listen to that, because it sounded like it would sound really lush on a decent set of speakers. So, you know, I was trying to think. I mean, this would easily sit on some of the ambient playlists that I've listened to on Spotify. It would sit on there nicely. And, you know, there's numerous artists that do a similar sort of style. But I'm just trying to think of one that I could compare it to. But on the top of my head, it's just not coming to me. But I really like this sort of music, and I would add it to my ambient playlist anytime. So thank you, Purple Bowl. Very nice.
Okay. Purple Bowl sometimes does good, sometimes does bad. Unfortunately, that was our second category choice. But, you know, it's very disappointing when, and this tends to be the thing with the hip hop music, right? Especially is that, you know, it's posted in all kinds of different categories that have anything related to do with hip hop. So in the blues category, really was looking forward to hearing a blues song, because I don't recall us ever pulling the blues category out of the Purple Bowl of Destiny, to tell the truth. So Carlos Fandango, as far as the second choice for the Purple Bowl of Destiny, what'd you think?
I really liked it because I do like ambient music. I like Brian Eno's ambient albums, like Textures and so forth. It was a combination of sort of Brian Eno meets Vangelis in some respects, from what I heard on the play on the night. I will definitely be checking it out and checking out more of the music, because it's a nice track. It really had a nice sort of feel about it, and it was well constructed, and just serves its purpose of being exactly that, ambient sort of chill out music. It would go on a chill out compilation playlist. It would go on an ambient playlist. So very good. So much so, I mean, so much that it's done its job that, I mean, I don't know if this was the alcohol from last night, but Socky is absolutely zonked out asleep now. So I know, but yeah,
He looks kind of cute like that.
Does now. It didn't last night. 3 o'clock in the morning, coming in chundering everywhere, and I wasn't too best pleased. But you know, it's I don't know. I forgive him now because he does look cute, doesn't he? Yeah.
Everyone will want a Socky now.
Yeah.
I think we should put up a link to buy Sockies off of the Underground Sound.
Probably, yeah. Find Saki in our merch store, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
the one only. Just kidding. We do not have a merch store just yet. But now that the ideas have been implanted in my head, then you know, yeah, you know, I kind of thought, kind of like a bit Hans Zimmer-ish. To this one here. I know I had a ton of thoughts, and we started talking about Saki, and now the gone.
Something to do with Hans Zimmer.
I said it's pretty Hans Zimmer-ish, right? So
I definitely get those Brian Eno vibes though that Carl just talked about.
Yep, there we go. So you know, comparing to Vangelis, I was actually thinking about Blade Runner, right? And so Blade Runner, especially the older one, not the new remake, but even in the new remake, you know, I think that this song would fit nicely in there. So it definitely has that kind of like Vangelis tinge to it. Sounds like a very you know, old back in the you know, 70s or 80s, like a Moog synthesizer, or you know, or something of the sort. Very kind of like straight to the point, no added drums, no added effects. It's just kind of like my only criticism here would be to maybe do a little bit of post-production work, because at times the volumes did sound like it was clipping. Not sure if that was supposed to be part of the song, or if the volume was just raised, you know, very high. But all in all, I got to say, a good choice by the Purple Bowl of Destiny right there. So moving on to our regularly scheduled track number 4, LOTZO, with a song called Gravity. So LOTZO, Gravity, Carlos Fandango.
So anybody wanted to look up LOTZO, obviously it'll be in the description, but it's LOTZO, LOTZO, and it says here that LOTZO is from, there's a photo of a chicken on this bio. So it's Mills River, North Carolina, USA. So once again, we've had plenty of North Carolinas here. It says, I like music. That's the bio. And influences are listed as Bruno Mars, Post Malone, The Weeknd, J. Cole, and that's pretty much almost it. But the Gravity. Now, I think you two are going to like this. I think the audience will like this. Depends what you're into, really. But I can't believe it's only had one save, which is me saving it, and only a few comments and a few plays. I'm sure it's better than that. I really am. I'm convinced this song is way better than the stats. One person agrees with me saying, this is so good. Oh, sorry, I've got the good was extended as well. Good. Saludos, muy buena música. So, yes, someone else thinks it's good as well.
Well, there are actually 3 saves to this song on my end here, posted 1 month ago with 33 plays, 3 saves, 122 fire. The song.
Sorry, he's reposted it. I see why now. That's why. So he's reposted it. So there's different comments, different things. Okay, so that says yes. This is definitely a fun track. Nice song, man, groovy, and it's got lots of saves and fire and stuff. So people are appreciating it after all. That's good.
Well, there you go. People are appreciating it. Hopefully it's LOTZO fun.
That was not so good.
I know. But
No, not says his brother.
All
right, LOTZO with Gravity. Let's check it out.
Look up, been through the planets, and each one is one step closer to a home run. I'm coming round, so I lift off, feet to the earth, but my tiptoes gon' do what they want. I won't touch the ground, 'cause as much as I'd like to feel the age or the atmosphere and all, until I reach it, it's back to earth I fall. I'm bound by the same gravity, though I try, I still find it. I land on one of Saturn's silver rays. Yeah. Make my way through the lights, vibrant, shining, never too bright. Eager to see what the planets are planning, magnificent, shifting again with the tides. Just like radiated seas, some subtle changes undergoing, but never have I ever learned to fly. 'Cause as much as I'd like to feel the age or the atmosphere and all, until I reach it, it's back to earth I fall. I'm bound by the same gravity, though I try, I still find it. I land on one of Saturn's silver rays. Yeah. I'm bound by rings of gold and silver. Something's different, but there's something still so familiar. I'm bound by the same gravity, though I try, I still find that I land on one of Saturn's silver rays. Yeah. I'm bound by the same gravity, though I try, I still find it. I land on one of Saturn's silver rays. Yeah.
All right. Well, I wasn't wrong. That song was lots of fun. So Smart Monkey.
Yep, totally agree. Right from the moment the song starts, throws you right into a upbeat, happy vibe. Brilliant, really good. so you know exactly what's coming, and then the rest of the song doesn't disappoint at all. And actually, it has a really good ebb and flow factor on this one. You know, they're just adding elements that keep the interest going, and you know, the harmony, the female vocal harmonies that are going on there, just a really good radio-friendly pop vibe coming from this song. Catchy, enjoyable, happy. Yeah, this one could be in my top 3 for tonight.
I myself did add a plus mark next to the song because it does have a strong possibility of becoming my top 3 as well. Carlos Venega.
I too have earmarked it for a potential top 3 finish. So, modern, bouncy, dance, pop, radio-friendly song. Really well produced, snappy. It's short, as is the way of things these days. So fits the bill in every respect for being a radio and playlistable song. Summary type of song as well. So very much summer playlist, dance playlist. It gets you moving, it gets you grooving. It's got a nice funky feel to it as well, with that sort of like that high pitch. It's almost like a sped up funky guitar at the end, really subtly. Just lots of detail in the production, or it could be a cat. So who knows? But massive. But yeah, I've got he's got good flow on his songs as well. That sort of Ed Sheeran and Bruno Mars sort of. So yeah, just have that swing to his vocals, really good. And hasn't it got huge commercial potential? It's got massive commercial potential. This is advert all over. This is TV sort of prelude to a TV series coming on or something, or it's got advertising written all over it. So this is really good. I'm very, very impressed with this one. Yes, one might say very good, very good indeed.
Very good. Very good indeed. Yes.
How could you just deliver that way? One could say very good. Very good indeed.
Wow. I was trying to do the cocktail party cough. Maybe did it cancel out? Because I did go.
Didn't hear that.
Oh, sorry. That's why, because I was doing the. I have to go.
Do you want to try another take? You go ahead, take 2.
One might say, very good indeed.
Okay, very good indeed. I gotta say, the song was great fun. From the onset of the song, as soon as it started, I was thinking that this is going to end up being like a Gorillaz type song, but as it progressed, it definitely took me back to Jamiroquai. If you remember Jamiroquai from the 90s, it was with what was the name of the song? There's a few good songs actually, but there was one that was like kind of like in the mainstream. It was like alternate reality, something like that. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look this up now.
Oh god. Oh my goodness, please.
Well, it was a virtual. It was virtual reality.
Reality. Yeah.
Virtual reality was the name of the song, and this one really kind of pops in my head as being kind of that same way, right? It had that funkiness to it. It had that kind of like George Clinton feel, right? With a bit of a modern twist, even though this goes back to the like I said, to the 90s in my mind. So I was very pleased with this. Go ahead, Carl.
Virtual Insanity.
Virtual Insanity.
That's the one. Virtual Insanity.
Yep. I guess I should have looked it up. So, yeah, but altogether, that was a really cool music video with that song, and it was a really great song to begin with. And this song, lovely comparison to that one. So, a great job, very nicely done. Once again, on the list for the top 3 of the evening.
And may I draw your attention once again? You may want to share this. That wonderful artwork is fantastic. Goes so well with the song, but so striking. And this is the thing: you've got so much competition out there that having a striking piece of artwork that stays with you is pretty good as well.
Agreed. Good. It's good. Like it.
Artwork is very important. A lot of people are visual people. So when they see some good artwork, it really makes a huge difference. So that was the artwork right there for that song. And once again, LOTZO with Gravity right there, comparable to, again, Jamiroquai. And I like it. You know what? It's simple, colorful, and it just kind of like looks what the song sounds like. It looks like it's fun and just weird, kind of like.
And look by his head, it looks just like the special cigarette I made. Just by
I
his head.
thought it was a match. A
Could be a
match
match.
for your special cigarette.
Yes, exactly that. My special tampon cigarette.
Oh, that's where it came from. Oh my God. I was just thinking about editing episode 39, and we had a long spew of tampon talk.
Did we?
We did.
I don't remember tampon talk. I'm sure I remember tampon talk.
It's there, and now I just remembered why it's there.
Tampon talk. That could be a feature of the show on a regular basis.
Tampon
talk.
Tampon talk. Condom chat.
If there are any ladies listening to us here, if you'd like to be on a segment called Tampon Talk for this show, then please get in touch and we will make it happen. Because
Or if you identify as a lady.
we're going places with this show, I'm telling you. So.
Yeah, no, you know what? It's a male-only show and 100% male audience.
No. That's changed. That's changed recently.
Oh, have we reached double figures with the female?
Oh, we've reached double figures with the female population quite some time ago.
That'd
we?
be the Magic Mike, Tragic Mike show, wasn't it? That would have turned
Yeah.
those figures around.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're back down to single digits with the females again. So
That was after the
After
Tragic
the
Mike.
Tragic Mike show.
it's probably drop down to back down
yeah.
to 9.6%. But we were like 10, 11, 12%.
Wow.
Oh, it's anything's better than zero.
Yeah.
Like we were
true.
before.
100% male. Sausage fest galore. For crying out loud. All right. Speaking of sausages, we have a song here called Bonfire by Adam Briscoe. What do we got going on here?
Okay.
Hey, sausages are good with the open flame, you know. So
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right, got you. Got the
Although,
connection now.
you know, just got to be. The saying is, keep your sausage safe around an open flame.
And make sure it's done right the way through as well.
right, well, you don't want to just like stick it in there, like make sure that.
Yep.
Yep.
You don't want to be dangling it in over a flame.
No, okay. Carl, tell us about the song.
Quick, Carl, save me.
So
Carl.
Adam Briscoe is from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and influences include John Mayer, The Beatles, John Lennon, Cat Stevens, Paul Simon, Van Morrison, Passenger, James Blunt, and Ed Sheeran, among others. This song, it's probably been uploaded a few times, maybe because it's only my comment on it, it seems, and only 2 people have saved it. But again, I feel like this is a song that definitely justifies a listen. And I think people will like this. It says, I wrote and recorded this song after going through a crazy car accident. Once I was able to walk and hold my guitar again, the first thing I decided to record was this song. I hope you enjoy it the same way I was overcome with joy getting back into the studio. We've talked about this before, where writing songs can be a cathartic and therapeutic process to get over things. Like I wrote a song for my best friend, and and other situations in life I've written songs. They're often the best ones, and I think this one, the emotion of this whole thing, definitely comes through in this song. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, listed here in the category of a singer-songwriter, this is Adam Briscoe with a song called Bonfire, also available on Spotify. And please do visit the video description below, so that way you can find this song and all the other songs that we have reviewed and are going to review throughout the course of this remaining portion of the show. And do spread some love for these musicians, help them get out into the spotlight. And I see that's almost 5 minutes long here, so we got a pretty lengthy track. But if it's as good as Carl says it is, then the emotional transference of a song is always something that we look forward to. So without further ado, let's check it out.
Talking of sausages, here's a good length.
keeping me warm, keep me alive. The sparks in a soul, they never die. Just keep dancing around by the fire, barefoot to the ground, full of desire. Oh, your bonfire starts turning. Your bonfire start churning. Your bonfire love starts yearning. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire heart, it keeps burning. Driving for miles, driving for years. I'm driving you crazy, so I hear. I've never been one to put up a fight. How can I when I know this must be right? So show me your bonfire starts turning. Your bonfire start churning. Your bonfire love starts yearning. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire heart, it keeps burning, burning. I can't seem to put it out. You've been burning so long, I never had a doubt. So what's that all about? I never have come down. Keep me warm, keep me alive. Then it sparks a fire somewhere, somewhere deep inside of your bonfire starts turning. Your bonfire start churning. Your bonfire love starts yearning. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire starts turning. Your bonfire start churning. Your bonfire love starts yearning. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire starts turning. Your bonfire starts churning. Your bonfire love starts yearning. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire starts turning. Your bonfire starts churning. Your bonfire love starts yearning. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire starts turning. Your bonfire starts churning. Your bonfire love, your bonfire heart, it keeps. Your bonfire heart, it keeps burning.
Well. Adam Briscoe with Bonfire. Smart Monkey. Take the comments away, sir. Don't forget to unmute your mic.
I did forget to unmute my mic.
It's mind reading.
Hence the reminder.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. So keeping on the Bonfire theme, my first comment was, and it literally did jump into my head like this, holy smoke is what I first thought. Because
Holy smoke, that man.
holy smoke. I thought he sounded so much like James Blunt. It's uncanny, to be honest. And I really like those early James Blunt songs when he was really just sort of cracking the scene and you know, before he'd really broken into fame. His vocals and his song styles were right out there, and it just sounds like it's been taken from one of his albums. It's really, really good. Seriously good. I really enjoyed it. It's my kind of music, to be honest. I love his vocals. I love them. They're just fantastic. And I'm talking about Adam here now. I just think I think he's going places, this guy, because I think he's incredibly talented. This song easily could be on the radio playing. I haven't heard it on a decent setup, so I don't know about production values, but you know, even if the production values aren't quite there yet, which in all honesty they sound like they are on the speakers I've got, but even if they weren't, you know, give it a polish. And this guy has got some seriously good music going on here. I would have ended it at the lull at that 3-minute mark. Personally, I would have had this as a single version, but this other version is, you know, it's a credible extended mix. It's got some oddities towards the end that I know have been intentional, but personally, if it was to go on the radio, I'd just end it at that 3-minute mark.
Well, ending it at the 3-minute mark aside, to answer one of the questions here is, from my perspective, it sounded like production was like spot on. Carlos Venegas.
This one it's interesting, actually. I hadn't even thought about the James Blunt sound, but it is just like James Blunt. Great artist. I don't listen to him anywhere near enough that I should, but I think James Blunt is very underrated, actually. In fact, he's Blunter-rated. But basically, I was thinking immediately, for me, it was Paolo Nutini's Iron Sky. Fantastic song, which uses Charlie Chaplin's Great Dictator speech really to great effect, but his vocals are very similar to this, and the feel of the song, the emotion that's conveyed, is similar to this. But vocally is also a little bit like, for the older members of the audience, particularly the British audience, is very like Leo Sayer. If you think something like Giving It All Away or One Man Band got that sort of raspiness and graveliness, but in the higher register. So really impressive song construction, songwriting, song composition, lyrically really good, but the actual production is fantastic. The organ part is really good, comes in, and it just, with the organ swells coming, it always lends a nice sort of big moment of tension before it all sort of bursts open and to the dam bursts and the music comes on. So very good. I like the way that, even to the subtle detail, like the drums coming in. If this was programmed, then it's been programmed really well, because the drums have come in a sort of that sort of slightly lazy style. So it's just off the beat, but in the pocket kind of thing. So really good. Very emotional delivery. You can hear the rawness in the voice from clearly what was, you know, a traumatic incident for him. So it comes across, for me, exactly the same, a radio edit, except slightly different. So not exactly the same, but it'd be the different point, which I think you're right, it could end at that point, but I feel like it needs that final chorus, that big burst. I would personally slow fade it from the 3-minute 50 points to about 4 minutes 15, 4 minutes 20, and instead of having all those ad libs so prominent, I would bring those back down, end on one long sustained note with the guitar coming in, or organ solo, something where the instrumentation takes over more, becomes prominent as it fades out, with the ad-libs subtly in there, not quite so prominent as they were. But that would be the only thing that I would do differently, or for a single version would do that. But really good song. The more I hear it, the more I like it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's going to be one of those songs where the more that you hear it, the more that you are going to like it. You know, this would definitely work as an album version. I totally agree with the both of you on your comments. You know, maybe trimming this down, having you know, a single edit or a radio edit for that matter. But so here's my first thought was a very surprising voice, right? Because we go through a lot of these songs and we hear different voices, but right off the bat, it was a very surprising voice. His voice was very clear, and it really kind of like took you like, wow, you know, it just kind of like really like kind of like it had that wow factor to it. So with the organ in the background, that's why I was giving you the thumbs up when you were talking about that, when the organ was kind of like swelling in the background and everything.
Sausages again?
Well, no, I wasn't thinking about no, not that.
You're the one talking about swelling organs.
Hey, man.
Swelling organs.
Hey man, let me get on with my review. Then we could do jokes, all right? I was really thinking about imagine if Jim Morrison was singing this song. Then this would fit nicely within the Doors catalog of music here. I personally think. You know, the Doors were kind of like, that was one of their signature sounds, is having that organ in there, you know, so it really sounded all that great. So great guitar work, great guitar play. I think there's tons of ebb and flow in this song. Like the ebb and flow factor with the song is kind of like off the charts, because, you know, the swelling of the instruments, it goes from here to here to here to here. It's very much this version of it, with it being 5 minutes long, would definitely be the live version of it. You could even stretch this thing out to be 14 minutes long if you're playing this live, because a lot of people are going to be having, I swear, you know what? I'm going to buy a camera just for that fact, just so people see the distractions that I have to deal with sometimes. Yes. Stretch the song out to 14 minutes. This would be a great live song with people holding their, well, these days, their phones up in the air. We used to hold lighters up in the air, but people with their phones, you know, with their flashlights on and everything like that. Great song all around, I got to say. Highly enjoyable. I mean, it's another plus mark from me so far. You know, if the second half of the show is going to live up to the first half, we're gonna have quite a bit of hits on our hands today. So, yeah.
I think you might struggle, because the second half, I don't know if it's, I think it's on par, but I've got one in particular that I like that might be in the top three for me, but there's one in particular that I think you'll like. And I just don't know about. There's one in particular I'm not sure about. But anyway, nevertheless, yes, I think this guy's got a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from Adam, because I think Adam Briscoe's, definitely got something about him that's a bit different, and he's delivering the song there with passion. And if he can do that with that song, there's definitely more in his canon to come, to spring forth into our midst at some point. Dare I say that?
Well, I'm definitely going to be looking for more from Adam. I'm gonna follow, as a matter of fact, and save this song just real quick before we start moving on here.
I've done exactly the same.
Yeah, I did. Because so this song was posted in May of 2022. So let me go back and take a look at this real quick.
Oh, dear.
I do just want to check something, because it says that it was on Bonfire. Oh wow, Adam's got a lot going on here. Okay, so Adam Briscoe is on Spotify. I decided to hit the Spotify link. He does have a few more songs on there. Bonfire, the song that we just listened to, has a pretty impressive 46,313 plays on Spotify. So great job, Adam, with that one. A few other songs that are posted on Spotify by Adam is a song called Try Again, Bonfire, I Say You Say, Wild Rose, and Back in May had 32,704 streams, I should say. Wild Rose, 22,990 streams. So it looks like Adam may be building a bit of a career here. So folks, do visit the video description below, find the link to Adam, follow the Spotify link, and you'll find more of his music there if you enjoyed that one. We did thoroughly enjoy it. So to Adam, good luck from the underground sound here. And so we're hitting our break point. And yeah, so we're going to go on break, and we'll be back after. No. Oh yeah, no, go ahead. No.
Just depends what you want to do, really. I wasn't sure whether to get ready with the and please do like, subscribe, share, all that kind of thing, or if we're doing a quick pared down version of Call My Bluff, or if we're ditching it completely, because obviously that's what's causing a bit of the delay here.
I say let's do it, because
I know Tom enjoys this, whereas Rob
Rob
doesn't enjoy the embarrassment of being
stupid.
Bottom of the class. Ding 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 ding. So welcome to Call My Bluff. Welcome to Call My Bluff, and we have here a word called Weasand. Weasand. So it's WEASAND. We call it Weasand. Is it a dialect word for the throat, or more specifically, the windpipe? Is it B, Sussex dialect for quicksand? Or C, a type of grass often used for bowling greens? So that's lawn green bowls. So is Weasand a dialect word for the throat, or more specifically, the windpipe? What, a windpipe? A Sussex dialect for quicksand, or a type of grass often used for bowling greens? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Oh, they all sound like they could be genuine on this one. Oh, I've got a feeling
They do sound like they all can be genuine.
They do indeed, hence the bluff nature.
So I just deductive logic is all I'm going to say with this one. I'm going to go with A.
We're going with A, the throat, and
I've got a feeling B on this one.
See, I don't think so. I don't think so, because I was thinking B as well, but the other two options have to do with turf of some kind, right? Whereas as A is the completely different one. So I'm going to go with A. Yeah.
And audience, you're going for C. You don't trust either of them. C, you're saying a type of grass. So Weasand is actually A. Tom got it right. It's a dialect word for the throat, or more specifically, the windpipe.
Yes. Stick that up your windpipe, all right?
So,
are you sure you didn't write these bloody things?
So round one, Tom scores 1, Rob, audience, nil. I might remind you, obviously, we'll have our second and final rounds later. Currently, the weekly scores are Tom 2, audience 3 in the lead, and Rob 1. Measly 1. Dare I say, a paltry score.
Yes.
Oh boy, yeah, I did have to Sherlock Holmes the hell out of that one in my brain there, but again, just because the other one had to do with turf, that sounded like the appropriate answer. So glad I was right on that one. So yeah, so we're gonna take our break here. And for the Underground Sound, I am DJ Exec. With me, as always, is Carlos Fandango and a gentleman known as Smart Monkey U. Together, we are putting us back into music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we will find the music that you love to hear.
I thought you were going to do Zippy then. Oh, please do like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to click the little bell so you get all the notifications of whenever Tom uploads new videos. And may I say, it's very exciting.
Alrighty. So no direct submission track today, so don't look for a track an extra. Actually, is that why you changed the format of the show? Because we had to keep it a little bit shorter because it's Thursday?
No, this was how it was. I think one of the tracks wouldn't load up last time, but I think it was a future show. It doesn't really matter. But basically, it didn't appear on Slaps anymore. Somebody must have hiked the track off of Slaps, so the link that I'd put on the list was no longer valid. So I replaced it with another song.
Okay, well there you go. So no direct submission track. I could have sworn that we had another direct submission here, but
I think we have, but I haven't actually included it yet. So it'll probably be next week or the week after.
All good. I thought there was another one there, so here we go. So now we're going to go with the classic pen swipe. Watch it over here. Ready? All right. Welcome back to the second half of the Underground Sound, and I gotta say that the second half has a lot of competition from the first. So there's hopefully the music lives up to the hype here. So please do visit the video description below and find the links to these fantastic artists that we've been listening to today so far. And well,
Well, what have you seen? That we've got some messages just coming.
we should.
Cool. Have a check on your emails and see what's coming, because I'm keen to see. We've got someone famous this week. That'd be great.
Mhm.
Actually, famous would be good.
It's I'm not sure. Yeah, they're very silent.
Mhm. So that's our message. There is no message.
Should be an attachment.
There's no attachment.
Did I not attach it? Really?
Yes, really.
Oh, because I thought I'd seen. I didn't look at the message, but I seen we had one in. So let me just resend that.
Why would you resend anything?
Well, yeah. Hold on a minute. Oh, it's in sent, isn't it? Of course, I'm trying to see there a message. Oh, I'm sorry. That's terribly remiss of me and pretty awful. Where's the thing? It's behind the microphone, so I have to go around the corner to see it. Oh, this is most annoying. I'm sure you can edit this out, surely.
No, why would I edit anything else?
Oh, come on. Right, underground sound.
I think people are onto us.
What do you-
Really? It's so
Well,
convincing. I can't.
There's nothing untoward here. We just nothing scripted.
If they're not onto us after episode 39, they're onto us.
That's true.
All Carlos is a postman. He's just delivering the message on behalf of the greater public.
Yes, because I've noticed there's been one emailed to us, but to my email for some reason. So I just thought I'd forward it without looking at it for some reason.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, postmen don't read other people's mail, do they?
That's true. And Tom is the host, and we're the co-host. So I thought it would be terribly wrong, not to say unruly of me to do so.
No, that was a better cough.
Oh, ding ding. Well,
Ding dong. Okay.
well, we've got a message here, boys, from one Kylie Minogue, and it says, "Hey, you lovely boys."
Tom, I think that's pronounced Minogue, Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue, really?
Yes, really. And wow, the Kylie Minogue. That is a big feather in our caps, especially if she started the message with, "Hey, you lovely boys." Nice one. I like Kylie Minogue. She's great.
Negative, sir. It's Kylie Minogue from Bangor in County Down, Northern Ireland.
Really? I see.
She says she's originally from South Korea, but fell in love with her now husband, Mr. O. Gu. When they met in Seoul last year, together they run a chiropody and podiatry practice, and there's nothing she enjoys more than freezing off a veruca while listening to the underground sound. She likes to joke that she was a lady of soul who's now a queen of soul, SOLE.
Oh my goodness me, Queen of Soul, I love that. Did you say Kylie? Kylie Minogue, Queen of Soul.
I just read Rose part 2. Yes, did you?
I know. Yes, I think she massaged my bunions. Where the fucking hell did the banger be?
She's from Bangor in County Down, Northern Ireland.
Oh, I just
Tom
missed that
says,
bit.
yes, did you? And you interrupt, saying, Bangor? Yes, I think she massaged my bunions.
Oh my god.
90% male audience, got to cater to the audience.
You know, we may get this right eventually. So I don't think that we ever will, because we don't have that much time to rehearse these, as Carl tends to receive these messages just before the show.
Yes, that's true. I do, yeah. So get no time to read/rehearse these messages.
Bang
Ah, dear.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, once again, at least the first half of the show was good. So our little comedic break here does absolutely nothing for the second half of the show. So the second half of the show, our song number 6 is Dan Wil Liv with a song called Playlist. Carlos Fandango, take it away, sir.
Right, so Dan Wil Liv is from Howell in, I'm presuming that's Missouri, if it's Missouri, if it's MI, possibly, USA.
No,
Tom-
MI is Michigan.
Do you know, I was going to say Michigan, and I thought, no, hold on, that's a city, isn't it? So Michigan's, oh God, I always get confused, I really do. He's a rapper, vocalist, karaoke enthusiast, and hat wearer. So, doesn't list any influences, but anyway, this particular song, that's called Playlist, it says, this is the start of something great. Comments include 5... nice vibe. Vibe is hella good. Okay, you're on it. And for me, really good lyrics, nice flow. So, yeah, see what you think. I think you're going to enjoy it. This is the one I thought, I hope you're going to enjoy it, because I think you'll like it. I really do. I hope you'll like it.
Well, I mean, it's listed as hip hop, so I myself am always dying to hear some good hip hop music. So, from our fellow hat wearer from Michigan, this is a song called "Playlist." Dan Wil Liv. Dan Wil Liv. Let's check it out.
Give me a mic, give me a stage, give me a hit, getting me paid. Leaving on time, but I'm already late, cause I don't really ever wanna make y'all wait. So click the link and save the date. My homies told me I'm great, yo, I know that ain't no mistake. Now I'm in luck, just out of shape. Shaking it up, breaking it down. Jealousy might just be inevitable now, so feel free to send a letter to my house, cause I never get my mail when it's this cold out. Origami, I'm making paper. OnlyFans, I ain't got no haters. Bet on me, you'll safely wager. Wait for me, I'll calculate her. On my way to being famous, gonna know just what my name is. One day I'll be the greatest, go and put me on your playlist. On my way to being famous, gonna know just what my name is. One day I'll be the greatest, go and put me on your... Believe me, I see the end, let's D&D, I'll BDM. I take my B-top BPM and bring the heat to your speakers, Ben. Give me coffee and Alexa Pro, yo, hand me money, I'm pass and go. So follow me, I know the road, I rise and grow like Lavendo. Treasure tracker, Captain Toad, it's too dangerous to go alone. The lonely road I'll never know. This boulevard ain't broken, bro. Cold to shoulder, arms are frigid. Stop the unprompted criticism. Baloney, bros, if I won't be listening, leave me alone, yo, social distancing. Sit there and bear me witness. The limit of my skill is infiniteness. Up to no good, I manage mischief. Got no manual, I skip the stick shift. Pro controller, forget the stick drift. Not a poor boy, but not a rich kid. Don a crop top to rock my midriff. Gonna pop soon with cops and itches. Go for speed, go the distance, go for miles. Skip the inches, better a while, but I'm finally in this. Even when I'm rich, I'll be ordering chick strips. Orange hot and some sausage biscuits. Buying everything on my Amazon wish list. Flying to Goodwill to pick up a stick drip. Finally not broke the moment the bills hit. On my way to being famous, gonna know just what my name is. One day I'll be the greatest, go and put me on your playlist. On my way to being famous, gonna know just what my name is. One day I'll be the greatest, go and put me on your playlist. Put me on your playlist. not the Meyer. The cost of Bosco sticks got higher. Got some eggs and I dropped a fiver. Tried to buy wine, but my ID expired. Print some pamphlets and make some flyers. Arrival time for the rhyme messiah. Ride with me and I'll rise you higher. I'm the proof, no faith required. Open up your eyelids wider. You admire, well join the choir. Fire me and I'll get rehired. Mystifying till I retire. You don't like it, well you're a liar. So loud my mouth it's on amplifier. I bite the mic and choke on the wire. Go right ahead and just put me on your playlist. Put me on your playlist. Put me on your playlist. Just put me on your playlist. Go find the 3 little dots wherever they are on your screen and click them. The little drop down menu, hit add to playlist. Boom. Bango. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Oh my goodness. So,
Well, I was thinking fellow hat wearer. I thought better join the crew, although you can't see much of it.
no, it's getting lost in the background.
It's about the campus hat I've probably got. I'll take that off. Yes,
the
fellow
red,
hat wearers
the red, white,
united.
and blue right there. So yeah, well, obviously we need them at this point. Smart monkey.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that actually. So it starts a little bit like an Eminem track, and then it just goes a little crazy, intentionally so, in a good way. It's a fun song, tongue in cheek, clever lyrics. Loving the "put me on your playlist" bit. That chorus. How many of us struggling artists are all shouting that out? Put me on your playlist. I think it's a good, fun track. But actually, it's a clever track as well. It's well constructed as a hip hop track goes, and there's plenty there to keep you interested. Plenty of variety to keep the listener going. And then the ending's just cracking. So we always talk about how a track should end, but that was brilliant. It gives you the instructions on how to add me to your playlist. That's brilliant. I just thought it was a good, fun track. Made me laugh. It was good.
I mean, so far I'm in agreement with everything here, Mr. Carlos Fandango. Since you are the hugest fan of hip hop, what's to you?
This is the thing, isn't it? It's when hip hop's done well, and there's a bit of musicality to it, and interesting things going on, and it's not load of swearing. Then I'm in. I like it, and this is one of those ones. But so the way I looked at it was the vocals. It sounds like the guy who does. I don't know if it's Trey Parker, but whoever does a lot of the voices for South Park. Now, if you imagine South Park having a parody of Weird Al Yankovic doing a sort of his version of Eminem, it's that. This is what it would sound like. And basically it's fantastic because of that. It's clever. It's all the words that Rob said, but I've got clever, fun, funny, playful lyrics. And it's the plight of the modern unsigned music artist. And I like the running out of breath bit. It's running out of breath, and it's just fantastic. Layered vocals as well. So the rap bits, I got those. I mean, Eminem does the dual vocals, but they're really cleverly harmonized as well. So it was just really, really clever and fun, and this is what it should be like. And the good side of hip hop and rap, for as far as I'm concerned, it was very good, very good.
I liked it. I think that this was kind of like a sigh of relief as far as hip hop goes, because we've listened to it in the past, and most of it sounds very generic. I like a lot of storytelling when there's hip hop involved, and this one. So from my comment, which I left, this is cool. It's a shot between Weird Al and Eminem. So the beat is tight. Great sample of "I Like It Like That" is what it sounded like to me. Great job all around, except for that I dropped the vocals a bit though, because the vocals seemed like they were going to clip at times. So all in all, I have to say that really, when you listen to the beat, when you listen to the song, it really sounds like it's kind of like a pretty pro production. As far as the lyrics go, they don't necessarily really sound like they're overlaid on the beat. But it just kind of seems like there's no real layering going on to the vocals, and I think that the song could benefit from a bit of layering. But at the same time, if this is meant to have a bit of a comedic purpose to it, which obviously from the lyrics it does, then maybe it was meant to be this way. So that would be my only like real critique, would be to drop the lyrics down just a tad so it doesn't really clip. And what you have here is a song that I will personally myself playlist and add it on to the add it onto our Spotify playlist that we do have, because I think it was a good deal of fun. Once again, a sigh of relief as far as the hip hop genre is concerned. Honestly, yeah, liked it. It did start off like an Eminem song, like right off the bat. I did write that, so I just need to bring that up. I really thought that we were going to listen to his voice, very reminiscent of Eminem, right? Especially like in the well, I was going to say the kind of like late 90s, like kind of like when Eminem started really to pop, right? When it was just really, he has that Marshall Mathers voice to him. So yeah, very enjoyable song though. Just overall, I think really good production and very thoroughly enjoyed. Fun, bouncy, definitely deserves way more credit than what it has right now. So for being posted 1 month ago, 39 plays, 4 saves with 60 fires, we've really heard worse stuff that's getting, tons of love. And this is one of those songs that deserves a good bit of love. So please do visit the video description below, find this artist, find the other artists, and shoot up to the links and add them to your playlist. Show them some fires, spread some love. So that way we can put a little bit of a spotlight on all these indie and underground musicians, and this is the whole point of the underground sound here. And yeah, it's just, I want to keep talking about the song more because I kind of like want to listen to it again, because it's really earwormy and it's really catchy. It's just, I know that we need to move on. So that's just the way that the show works here. Moving on to track number 7, we have Leap and Exile with a song called Julieanne. Tell me about the song, Carlos Fandango.
Now, you may remember there was a song when we first started, actually. I think it was in show 1, 2, or 3 or something, one of the early shows by Derek from Scandinavia somewhere, called Julieanne. 2 separate words, but this one's a conjoined word, Julieanne, and it's from Leap and Exile from Sweden in Lidköping, I think it's called, Lidköping. And basically, the influences include Pink Floyd, Iron Maiden, Ghost, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Queens of the Stone Age, Gary Moore, Thin Lizzy, Biffy Clyro, and a few others besides. Julieanne, it says here, doesn't say much about the song, but the comments include love it. Another one says love it. Another one says I like it. Love the space and simplicity. Nice and understated throughout. And I said, I listened 3 times as I wasn't sure what I thought at first, and then I carry on to say other things. So see what you think on the first listen. I wasn't sure, but then the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. So it might be one of those that's more of a grower on you, and see what you think first listen. Over to you. Oh, by the way, the artwork's pretty good. Again, the profile is really good artwork, and this song, the track artwork is really cool. Really cool.
We'll take the look at the artwork in a second here. For right now, Leap in Exile with Julieanne. Let's check it out.
Your painting still hanging on my wall. Julieanne, oh, why did you have to go? Julieanne, your faded smile left me on the floor. Tell me now, where do I have to go? This dying soul of mine will follow you. Time's getting slow as the rivers flow. Julieanne, your burning ashes falling down like snow. Julieanne, this dying soul of mine will follow you.
Okay, there's a bit of a long fade out to that song, but otherwise, I gotta say, I like it. And Smart Monkey.
Yeah, okay. So an interesting track for me. This one reminded me a little bit of so it's a very sort of more sort of softer style rock song here, and it reminded me of a Marillion song, an early Marillion song. So you got your Kaylee and it felt a bit like that, but for me, it takes a long time to get to its destination, and as it gets there, it then ends and fades out. So me personally, I would have preferred it to maybe build a bit sooner, because otherwise it's almost like a melancholy vibe to it, and it never really builds much for me. It's a nice sounding track, and the vocals are good, and everything sounds good. It's just the content of the song for me didn't really hold me until it gets to the end, and then it fades away. So yeah, that's my take on this one, I'm afraid.
Well, did it hold you, Mr. Fandango?
Well, this is the thing. I did have to have a listen to it 3 or 4 times when I first heard it, and I think for me, this what I was trying to work out was do I like it? Don't I like it? What is it about it? Why do I keep listening to it? Is it because I want to like something about want to like it more? But I think what it is, I think I've worked out that it's actually it's because it's a sort of repeating chord pattern. The song has a little bit of a repetitive element, or a lot of repetitive element to it. So it is repetitive. So that part of it sort of, could be more interesting, I think. That said, I do think it's all about the atmosphere of the song, and that's the whole point of it. Is it's about the atmosphere, the build, that sort of slow build, and then it ebbs away. And maybe that's to complement the lyrics, but it's like a lot of the modern folky sounding sort of songs and music have that kind of feel and vibe. So there's definitely a market for it, even if it's not fully something I'd probably listen to again and again. But it's not unpleasant to listen to. And somebody's commented on one of their other songs that the lead vocalist has got a voice like Michael Stipe, so his vocals are kind of that kind of sound, I suppose. So there's a commercial-ish sound to this song. And I like the details of it, like the synthesizers. There's a sound that comes in towards the end. So there's a few subtle little details in there. It's quite nicely produced. But I think, albeit it is a bit sort of repetitive and samey. Not so much repetitive, but samey. So it's kind of got that vibe at the start. It's got that vibe in the middle. It's got that vibe at the end. Nothing really changes. And yet the atmosphere is quite nice. So I'm not unhappy with it, but I don't know if could you improve it. I don't know, because maybe that's the whole intent of the song, is to be an atmosphere song. But I quite like it all the same. It's all right, but it's not one that I'd necessarily play, list and repeat. But I know people out there like this kind of thing.
You're on mute, Tom.
I really hadn't said much anyway. Yeah, it's like yeah.
You just said,
I pretty much said, well, this is, and then I just kind of like stopped talking. So it's a good thing probably that I was on mute, because I was going to say this is maybe akin to, like something like a Perfect Circle, but it's really not. I would have to put this more into the category of maybe like Alice in Chains. Probably a better fit would be something like Pearl Jam. But this does seem like a pretty unique style. Agreeing to the idea that we could probably cut out a bit of the repetitiveness of the song if we trimmed it down to a single version. Drop a minute off this, and I think that it's going to work really well. This will work well as an album version, I think, because it definitely has the hookiness and the catchiness to it to really be a good track. It's not poorly produced or anything like that. It's very well produced. All the sounds are really crisp, clear. Yeah, it's just one of those tracks where kind of like it's one of those in between tracks. It's not really a hit. It's not really a flop. We're just kind of like right there. It is enjoyable. So I got to say that if this is maybe a first attempt, if this is something that's kind of like prolonged, then I'll take a look at the Spotify page real quick here, see what's going on as far as this. So Julieanne actually has about 17, almost 18,000 plays on Spotify, and there's another song that's called Run that has 57 almost 1,000 plays on Spotify. So it might be worth checking out the other music. So I'll leave my critique at that. For the song, it's nicely produced, nicely sung, nicely executed. The volumes are working, everything's working here, except for the fact that it's just once you hear Julie a number of times, then maybe it's time to trim about a minute off the song and make it a radio or single version of the song. So in either case, good job, nicely done. And now moving on to the second installment of the Purple Bowl of Destiny.
Right. Okay. So the Purple Bowl. I'm going to do this slightly differently this time. I'm going to. Excuse me. Excuse me. So basically, I'm going to grab the whole bunch. No, let's just do it normally. It's too much hassle. I was just thinking, if I grab the whole bunch and see which is the last one to fall into the bowl or to stay in my hand. But that's just the same as picking it out. It doesn't matter really. So I'm just wasting more time. This is why the show's often now 4 hours long. So
4 hours.
4 hours 18 to be precise on the last one. So, okay, I won't look this time. I'll cover my face with it so you know I'm definitely not looking. And in fact, I'll close my eyes as well. Look, prove it. So I can't see what's going on. You say when, and I'll choose one randomly. I'll keep picking. But you say when. You can say ahem now. Has this turned into a different show? Have I cut off? I haven't got you on screen. So, oh, there you are. You're still there. I should have this feeling my internet had gone down and I'd cut off. And I'm just doing this. And nobody's watching.
Shall we put him as misery? Shall we put him out?
We're watching, that's for sure. So
Yeah, you look like you must be enjoying this.
Go on, let's put him out of his misery.
I don't know if it can be so enjoyable about it.
No.
No, right. Oh, okay. Well, let's see now, because hopefully it won't be one that I've chosen earlier. Let's see what the latest country. Good luck with pronouncing that.
This genre tends to get us in trouble.
Yeah. So, which cowboy song is the latest one uploaded? I wonder. So, let's do just a couple. Just a couple. Oh, well, that's bad. No, I can't. No, I can't do that one either. Oh, some of these jokes. I know they're dad jokes, but they are so bad. Okay, what happened to the cowboy who wore paper trousers? Seeing as it's country music, what happened to the cowboy who wore paper trousers?
It was charged for rustling.
Correct. He was done for rustling, yeah.
Yeah.
Talking of trousers, why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of trousers?
Because he got a hole in one.
Wow.
Oh my God, these are obvious.
Dear.
He's trying to catch me out now.
All right. Go on then. You can do the answer to this one then. Doctor, people keep ignoring me. Next, please. Next,
Pardon?
please. Next, please.
Oh, yeah.
You
That's
say
good.
you
I
say.
like that. I see where you're going. With
Next, please.
that. I like that one.
Doctor, I keep thinking I'm a mousetrap. Well, snap out of it. Oh dear. Sorry about that. I'm really, really, really genuinely sorry about that. Rob, have you got one to stop any of those wondrous jokes?
No.
Well,
I got a riddle. We could do a riddle.
go on then. Yeah, do a riddle. Because I was going to do a riddle. I couldn't find one.
What's the longest word? Well, this is a sort of a riddle. Actually, it's more of a joke, actually. But what's the longest word in the dictionary?
Oh, I've heard this. Alphabet, because it's got 26 letters.
Smiles, because
Oh,
there's a mile between each S.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
It's really good. That's supposed to be a riddle, but that's more of a joke.
When do clocks die?
You're on mute again, Tom.
When their time is up. Sorry.
He's talking away there, telling us how crap our jokes are.
I think he was actually admiring them and saying, wow, these are the best jokes I've ever heard us say.
No.
Oh.
No, there's nothing like that going on. No,
Negative,
I was saying
negative, sir.
that was neither a joke nor a riddle. So
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
it didn't work on either front there. So our newest country song, and again, I had to listen to a couple of them because they looked like they were going to be hip hop, and sure enough, they were. So I did find the newest country song, or the cowboy music, as we say here. Presenting screen now.
Yeah, I noticed there were quite a few hip hop ones earlier there.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're in their country, but
So this is what we got. We got Andrew Mccabe from Vidor, Texas, in the USA. Has 3 followers, 5 plays, 1 track only thus far, which is a track called Stuck at Buckee's. I actually know what Buckee's is now because I've seen a lot of like TikTok and YouTube Shorts stuff on it and everything like that.
so what is Bucky's?
Oh, it's just a huge like gas station convenience store. Like it's like an all-in-one kind of like hyper market. Like if you can imagine a Walmart but like a gas station, then that's pretty much what like Bucky's is. So
Oh, so is it native to just Texas and similar?
that's the only place that I've heard of them being was Texas. So yeah, Andrew McCabe with Stuck at Buckee's. If you want a taste of Texas, here it is. Let's check it out.
Well, I was driving down the road west of I-10. I was singing my songs, I was hanging with my friends. We pulled on over to the Beaver Station, grabbed some drinks and some salty chips. Come on. Well, we walked right back on that hot bus. Sure enough, it wouldn't start up. Turned the key to the left, we turned it to the right. But sure enough, there was a mechanic inside. 'Cause I'm stuck at Buckee's, and I'm stuck at Buckee's, and I'm stuck at Buckee's. Lord have mercy on me. Well, I was there so long I had to take a walk. Funny enough, the beaver started to talk. He said to come right in, see what we got. We had the finest cashiers right here on the spot. We have a hot food, cold drinks, and nice cold beer. The cleanest restrooms, no need to fear. We got the best barbecue, it's the best in town. We even have hot moms that like to walk around. 'Cause I'm stuck at Buckee's, and I'm stuck at Buckee's, and I'm stuck at Buckee's. Lord have mercy on me. Well, I was driving back home, east of I-10. I was singing my songs, I was hanging with my friends. We drove right past that billboard again. We all started laughing about the time we were stuck at Buckee's. We were stuck at Buckee's, and I was stuck at Buckee's. Lord have mercy on me. Everybody, 'cause I'm stuck at Buckee's, and I'm stuck at Buckee's, and I'm stuck at Buckee's. Lord have mercy on me.
Andrew McCabe is stuck at Buckee's, but from what I understand, there's a lot to do there. So, smart monkey.
So that's another fun track, actually. So Purple Bowl's done all right again, in my opinion. To me, this one, it sounded reasonably produced. Again, I'm not listening to the best setup today, unfortunately, but it sounded all right. It sounded good. It sounded quite a well-crafted country song. But at the same time, a lot of fun. Good advert. Wonder if you got paid anything for it.
Hopefully, Bucky seems to have like a ton of money, so hopefully they do shoot him something over there.
Yeah, I reckon they should. But I mean, this song to me is a perfect song for festivals. Again, we've talked about it before, live events, and it has that ability to just be, well, probably to shine at a live event, and everyone would be joining in. You can imagine one of those sort of meat festivals, beer, meat, and this sort of music playing, and everyone just jumping around, joining in. You know, that call and response is there. Yeah, I just sat here and I spent the whole time smiling. So it just has something good about it. And this was a random pick. So I'm pretty impressed, really.
Beer and meat.
Beer and meat.
Yes, beer and meat. What more do you need? Carlos Fandango.
Well, there we are. I looked up the website and it says you had me at Bucky's on their website. So I'm sponsored by Bucky's. But this is like a track that's live from Bucky's in Fort Worth, Texas, or something like that. And I even looked up the locations. So this is head nodding, foot tapping, body swaying, darn country music. And it's great. And it's double, what have I put there? The double harmony guitar's really nice. The riff comes down, the fiddle, lovely and crisp, all filling all those little spaces and stuff. Sounds like a live instrument recording, but it does sound like a bit of fun. So it's kind of, I'm quite forgiving on things like that. If they got the element of live, but they're all enjoying themselves and that's coming across, then that's great. And it would be a great live track because you've got that sort of bit where everyone's singing and joining in at the end, which could go on longer if it was done live. So yeah, really good, really enjoyable. I think the bowl has chosen really well tonight. Two good tracks.
So far, yes. The fiddle, very filling. Let's see. Stuck at Bucky's.
What we were missing was a swelling organ, really, wasn't it?
It's the swelling organ, though. You know. That fiddle is very filling.
Filling fiddles at Bucky's.
Yes. Yeah. I gotta say, good amount of fun. Okay. We've heard a ton of great country music. We really have. From Soulvivor to Eddie O'Hare to we've just had some phenomenal artists on here that have really kind of put country onto my map, as it were, because I hadn't listened. I was never really the biggest fan of country. I've heard a few songs, and obviously I've liked the few songs that I have heard, the ones that were kind of done commercially. But this one, really good fun. It's a very simple vibe to it. It's a festival kind of vibe. It's definitely a live show kind of vibe. Will it make it on the radio? Probably not. But I mean, I've not been to Texas. I haven't driven through Texas, so I don't know if this is a song that's up to par to be up on the radio. But they're talking about Bucky's, and Bucky's is one of the largest things out there. So as I said, everything's bigger in Texas, and maybe this song is bigger in Texas. So to Andrew Mccabe here with Stuck at Bucky's, the name of the song. Please do visit the comments, not the comments. I'm sorry. Please do visit the video description below. Leave comments if you like, obviously, but do visit the video description below and find these artists. And if you like that song, then put it on your own personal playlist. And let's get Andrew some more exposure, because once again, for a country song, I did find that quite enjoyable. Good fun. Now, this next song that I'm looking at here, posted 1 month ago, has some pretty impressive stats thus far from looking at it. 334 plays, 10 saves, 331 fires. Sounds like that's going to be a cracking track. And on top of that, it has 64 comments. Carlos Fandango.
I was rather interested and intrigued by this one because it had so many comments. I think Ye Angst. So they're both. Let's tell you about the artist. So Ye Angst doesn't say where Ye Angst is from, but it's Ye Angst. How many times am I going to say Ye Angst? Ye Angst is an artist's musical vision interpreted through the looking glass of the days of youthful angst. Hence Ye Angst. So basically, I was a little bit surprised that this one got so much attention. Now, this not to detract from the song. It's merely that because it's got a very sort of 80s, we'll hear it in due course, but it's got a very 80s, slightly not jazzy, but very 80s sort of funky jazzy sort of sound. And that's probably misdescribing it, but it's got a sort of sound that you wouldn't expect people to latch onto so much, but they really have. So and this is what intrigued me, and I thought, well, we've got to play it on the show because it's got a lot of noise, and I thought it's quite a cool song as well. It says, so some of the comments include love this, boss shit, chicken and the egg nice, amazing, this shit, it says SHI, shit is hard, nice work, nice, good, 80s vibe, and continue, among other comments.
Well, we shall in fact continue to listen to On Our Flanks by Angst. Let's check it out.
Feet to the sound of the beat, bumper bumper cars honking. Smoke at the end of the street, bummer buzz twisted tongue. Army ranks, crowds and tanks on our flanks. Newspaper speaks in oblique, extra read all about it. Tension surface in public, feel it at each meet. Seats on sound. Whoa, on God's green earth, I'll be thinking. Redux viewed all this time. Perpetual, never ending. One more grave entwined. Back to the arable land, resource and lost oasis. Every day, people look otherwise. Crowds got a bit of pattern. Someone's not moving. Somebody's daughter or son, distraught parents, wondering. Army ranks, crowds and tanks on our flanks. Beat to the sound of the beat.
And well, that was On Our Flanks by Angst, also available on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, and that one is Amazon Music. I do recall that icon now. So, Smart Monkey, take it away.
Yeah, interesting one. So I'm agreeing with everyone on the 80s vibes. It's definitely got that. I'm trying to pin an artist that it sounded like, and it's kind of a quirky song in the way that it's constructed and the way that the vocals are sort of almost jammed in there, and it's a difficult one to pin down. And I'm thinking, is it like Captain Sensible, or yeah, I don't know who to compare it to. It sounds almost like many of the sort of 80s electro pop bands, and yet it has this very quirky vocal element to it. So yeah, struggling to pin it down. For me, it's okay. I didn't mind it, but you know, we've had some cracking 80s sounding retro feeling tracks that they're a little bit more solid than this one for me. But maybe it's just because of that vocal style that it's just not quite gelling with me. I'm not sure. Otherwise, you know, it's okay. It's okay. That's all I can say really on this one. It's okay.
So okay, it's alright. So okay, it's alright. Carlos Fernando, what you think? So okay, it's alright.
It's okay. I exactly the same as Rob. It's okay. It's okay. It's basically right. What I'm picking up on is basically because it's got such a strong 80s flavor, because it's not just the music with the jazz chords, the sort of those jazz tinged chords that used to permeate the music of the 80s on those synth pop sort of songs, but it's also got lyrically that sort of style of singing, the style of writing. So I think that's what people are picking up on and really liking about the song. I don't necessarily take to the song that well, because it's not one that really appeals to me, and yet I like it because it's got that kind of flavor and style, and it's really nailed that whole style of song. But when you look at artists, you're thinking, well, okay, so Genesis had a sort of slightly jazz tinged history, and prog rock sort of things. There's a bit of prog going on there. Meridian, likewise, a bit of talk in there, a bit of China Crisis, a bit of Thomas Dolby, bit of Devo, Heaven 17, Flock of Seagulls. All of that sort of stuff is molded into this song, and many more besides. But it's an unusual song, really unusual. But things like the lines lyrically, like bumper bumper cars, it's just reminded me of sort of almost like Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. He talks about bumper cars and things, and it's kind of just nabbed a bit of everything and put it in this melting pot and come out with this, and it's got a very accurate sort of 80s flavor. So I think that's what people are sort of really liking, is there's a clear yearning for retro 80s sound. I think Rob's exactly right though. We've definitely had songs that are better than this, but it's okay, and I feel like it's okay because I felt like with all the comments I thought, oh, maybe I'm missing something here, but I think it's just because people are really yearning for that sort of sound again. And so when somebody does that, it's really quite popular.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I really hate to be the Simon Cowell of the show here and everything. It's just I don't know. I'm thinking that Angst here has a lot of friends that have kind of beefed up the the plays, because I don't really see many casual listeners coming on to Slaps and really kind of giving this a full run through, because even my kind of consideration for the song is going to be kind of a bit sparse, just kind of due to the fact that it's not anything that we haven't heard before, right? We've heard this, we've heard this, we've been there, we've done that. So one of the comments that I had left is, this would fit nicely on the Revenge of the Nerds soundtrack. If you remember Revenge of the Nerds back from the early 80s, it definitely does have that 80s vibe. But I think that that not only the production, but the arrangement of the flow, the arrangement of the song, I should say, really doesn't have too much of ebb and flow. It kind of it goes, it stops, it goes, it stops, it goes, it stops. And then, kind of pick a piece, mix and match, and, put a song together. Right. So again, to piggyback off your comments here, it's not like I wouldn't necessarily skip the song if it came up, on kind of a random kind of Spotify kind of element algorithm, so I wouldn't necessarily skip it because I'd want to hear it, because I do like the 80s tinged music. But again, with kind of the negative ebb and flow factor, bit of production issues and everything like that, I don't think that I would necessarily save it onto my personal playlist. And that's just my 2 cents. Take it for what it is, folks. Honestly, I'm an idiot that's doing a show with 2 other idiots, and all we're doing is spewing our ideas out at the world here. So we try to be as positive as we can, and it is a decent sounding song. Once again, being saying that it could be on the soundtrack to Revenge of the Nerds, I think is a pretty decent compliment. I honestly do. It's an early 80s vibey kind of song. So maybe I'm missing something. If I am missing something, then that's totally on me. But I just don't think that that this is for the stuff that we have heard in the past, I just don't think that it's kind of there. But once again, it does deserve recognition because underground artist, indie musician, trying to make it. So visit the video description below. If you did like that song, then add it to your playlist and show some love, by all means. Anyone have anything else to add there?
Nope.
No, sir. Negative. Negative, sir.
No?
No.
You're just going to leave me being the asshole. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were too, because I'm feeling exactly the thing. I said it myself. I said I felt like I was missing something because everybody else is, when somebody's onto something, you think, well, it's like, everyone seemed to love Celine Dion years ago. I couldn't stand her. Just overblown, overpowered. Same with Whitney Houston. I mean, clearly a talent. But when she, for my money, ruined I Will Always Love You, which was a tender love song, and made it a big power ballad, everyone loved it. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I think she ruined it. But, but people seem to love it. But this is the thing that a lot of the time people sort of get onto something and they sort of love a song. And you think, oh, maybe I'm missing something. Or they like something, out there, and it becomes popular. And you think, oh, I better get one too because it's popular. But actually, it's not always the case. But I think with this one, it's just interesting, quirky, different, and it stands out because it's that. It's not necessarily, the best song in the world, but it is different, and I think that's what people are latching onto. Anything to add to that, Rob? Oh, you might as well be a bastard as
Absolutely
well.
not. No, I'm
Rob's
I
like,
don't know.
You're going to be the Louis Walsh, aren't you?
he's like, I'm good. Yeah, no,
I'm a bit like Tom on this. I think some of those listens have come from friends and that, and how many followers did they have? I didn't see how many.
About 200, just over 200.
So here's the thing, like, and I'm just kind of like at ends with this here because so it's 209 followers with 3,969 plays altogether for 4 tracks. And, the kind of like track to fire ratio for each of the songs is relatively, about the same because again, I don't want to talk bad about anybody because I just, we're talking about an act that has 263 followers on on Instagram. We are the most anti-social media people that you're going to find out there. For the people that are actually trying to build a show to kind of like make it, we don't do Facebook, we don't do Instagram, none of us do. We're all too old for that crap, so it's just for me to make any kind of judgment with somebody who has 263 followers on Instagram with only 26 posts and having these kind of stats on slaps when there are truly better songs out there. I just, something in my mind is telling me that, hey, this doesn't add up.
But I suppose if you've got 209 followers, you put a track up, you're going to get, an average of that much fire per track you put up, I guess, maybe. But there we are.
No, I don't think so. We have 1,400, almost 10 subscribers, and we're kind of lucky to sometimes break 400 views on a video of ours. So
I want to go home now.
We've still got one more to go. And Tom's not even mentioned the sad moment of the show.
He hasn't mentioned what, sorry?
That it's the sad moment of the show where we're on the 9th track.
No, it's been the sad moment of the show. It's just like we are really Carl kind of like wanted to streamline this. We are recording on a Thursday. I have like something going on with work. So we are recording on a Thursday instead of a Friday. But Carl was like, I need to streamline this because I need to be in bed by midnight.
Well, otherwise things happen, I turn in, the gremlin things happen. So, no, I do need to get to bed fairly early because it's a weekday,
But we
are really streamlining because it's 10:30 at night.
I know, we're doing well.
But you work from home on Fridays, for crying out loud. It's just like,
yeah, but I still need to function the next day, and I'm being paid to work, so I should work. We have time for one if you want, then. Therefore,
okay. Go
One
ahead. Go ahead. Let's do the one more. I'll go ahead. and
Oh,
see
here
if
we
that
go.
works.
Here we go. Humiliate smart monkey time. Yeah, I know.
Well, who knows? You might get this one right. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's
So
doubtful.
let's just see if you do. Ding, ding, ding,
Doubtful.
ding, 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 ding. So, with Therification, Zemindar, and Pelacoid, we start the last round. So, the word is Bosey, Bosey, Bosey. Is it A, a musket? Is it B, in cricket jargon, another name for the googly, after BJT Bosanquet, who invented the delivery, meaning the bowl? Or C, a 12-line sonnet after Lord Alfred Bosey Douglas. So is a Bosey a musket? In cricket jargon, another name for the googly, after BJT Bosanquet, who invented the delivery? Or C, a 12-line sonnet after Lord Alfred Bosey Douglas. What do you think?
B.
Tom's a resounding B there. Wow.
Yeah,
Rob,
I know. I'm going to go C.
you're going to go C.
I want B
I
sounds reasonable. B sounds very reasonable, but I'm going C.
I know shit about cricket, by the way, but I mean, I'm just thinking that, the delivery pitch, as Carl had put it there. I'm just thinking that, deductive logic once again. B.
Okay. So, Rob, if you weren't going for, so would you naturally go for B? Do you think? Problem is, if you couldn't even draw level at this stage, could you? If you went to the same.
No. So it's pointless. Let's just see if I can ace an absolute failure. C it is.
Okay. Yes, I mustn't try and persuade you out of that. And audience, you're saying B as well. Are you sure about the audience? Okay. All right. If you're sure. Okay. So a Bosey is B in cricket jargon, another name for the googly after BJT Bosanquet, who invented the delivery. So this
So why do
week,
they call it a googly then?
That's what I'm saying. It's just so ridiculous. A Bosey with the googly. So it has to fit. It just,
well,
it
I think
absolutely must be that answer.
the googly must have been something to do with the fact that it hit the batsman in the googlies. No, I don't know why it's called googly. I'll have to look it up and find out. But we have a winner without it needing to go to a tie break. So, audience, you scored 1. Well done, not bad. Rob, you scored 0. Pretty bad.
Nil point.
And Tom, you scored 2. You're the winner this week, drawing you level with the audience on 3 apiece, with Rob trading with 1.
Well, at least got 1.
Was that the one where I was winking at you?
Probably. Nil point.
But it's all to play for. I mean, I've got a list of all these different weeks to come, and we shall see. That's only show 40, and I've done it up to show 45. So let's just let's say we'll go up to show 45. So you've got plenty of time to catch up and win. I'm
Stick
sure you
show
will.
45. Stick it right up your beep.
Stick it right up your googly.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Stick it right up the googly. All right. I'm going to take a quick smoke break here, fellas, and I shall be back, and we shall listen to our last song of the day, which is called Whisper.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know.
Oh, you said to whisper.
Oh, damn, there goes my joke. I was hoping you'd introduce the song and I'd stop whispering all the details. Oh, well. It was lame anyway.
It's all right. We'll get to it when we get back. So, yeah.
Now this sounds just really creepy.
It does, doesn't it? So we'll be right back to finish the show off with this song here. Here we go. Track number 10, Whisper, by Fidelity, Carlos Fanego.
Yes, indeed. So I did have it up and ready. Well, okay, so basically we had Fidelity on recently. The song was called Letting Go, or Letting It Go, was it? Letting You Go. New single titled Whisper that is part of an album that will be released later this year. It is a rocker. Give it a listen. And basically, this one, I think it's out mid-June, I think, or maybe July, but it's out soon. But it's worth having this preview and having a listen now, because some of the comments are just awesome. Guitar sounds brilliant. Good song. Well, I think it's actually a great song, not a good song. Excellent guitar tone. That's right. Sorry, I thought I said it wrong there. Excellent guitar tone. Me gusto. Really enjoyed this track. Nice job. Maya Claus, a friend of the show, says excellent tune with fine vocals. I've said that's a standout track, I think. See what you think, though.
All right. Here we go with Whisper. Fidelity, also available on Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube, and Spotify. We did have Fidelity on the show. I believe it was show 38. Could have been show, yeah, it could have been episode 38 or 39, one of the two. But we have had Fidelity on there, and that track was enjoyable. So let's check this one out. Whisper by Fidelity.
Tell me why you try to deny everything you say.
Okay, that one supposedly started with a whisper, ended with a scream. Smart monkey.
Yeah. Okay. So last time when we heard, I think it was Letting Go, wasn't it? I was getting like Fleetwood Mac vibes from the vocals, and I thought this one was going to be similar, but no, this is way different. And I actually really enjoyed the vocals on this one. Yeah, it's got a really good rock vibe to this, and you know, she's hitting those higher notes on this one really well. And yeah, you got that added to that great guitar work again. The guitar work on Letting Go was good. Now it's, you know, it's excellent on this track as well. This to me is to me a better track. Better, maybe the wrong word, but for me, I prefer this track than Letting Go. It has a lot of power, a lot of potential. I can see this on movies. Yeah, really. And then as it just builds towards the end, that great build up at the end, you know, it's a good track. I really enjoyed it, actually. I liked it.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yes. Hey, Carlos Fanego.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. And so, what have we got here? I said on my comments on Slaps that it's a standout song. I do think it is, actually. It's so the band is really tight. Yes, it's a sort of guitar-driven song, but when you've got the whole band in sync like this, from the vocals to the bass to the drums as well. Yeah, the use of the toms in those certain sections, it really is effective. So that's really good. The vocals are really on point and passionate, well delivered. You've got elements of Elkie Brooks, Susie Quattro, Bonnie Tyler, but most of all, Kiki D. Now, if you check one song out tonight, apart from these ones, one mainstream song, check out Kiki D's I've Got the Music in Me. That, with the band, is so tight, her vocal performance is brilliant, and it's an awesome song that is not played enough, as it should be. But that's a brilliant song, and that's what it kind of reminds me of vocally, which is a huge compliment from me. So great wah pedal solo. The chords, so the production is really good, and I like the way the bridge sort of has a little departure for the solo. But basically, I like the ascending and descending chromatic scale. So basically, what it's using is that, as you'll probably have heard in the song, it alludes to that sort of Bond theme. Dun 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 dun. So you've got that chromatic ascendancy and descendant notes, and the chords built around that. That gives it that kind of Bond-esque theme. Now, if you think about Lulu's Man with the Golden Gun, Tom's written James Bond. There we go. So this, oh, it actually looks like James Bald. So
sloppy handwriting, you know. So.
James Bald. Who's
James Bald? Oh yeah, I could play that. So the name's Bald, James Bald. So oh, that would have been a different franchise entirely, wouldn't it? So but yeah, so because it's got that, and it's got that sort of general epic sort of quality feel. If you think of Lulu's The Man with the Golden Gun, that's on par with that. This is what the Bond franchise needs, a song like this, sort of, once again, rather than these dirges that we've had lately, we have something with a bit more gusto, like Live and Let Die, that kind of. So this is in that world, and it needs to, yeah, this needs to be on the next Bond film. This would be fantastic. And there was, of course, a character called Whisper in Live and Let Die, which is one of my favourite ones. So so I like the continuity there. But yeah, overall, I think this may be vying for a spot in my top 3.
Really?
Oh yeah, I really like this one, and the more I hear it, the more I like it. Oh, one more thing I was going to say was the final note that she sings on "Scream." The word "scream" is a really good note. It's not an obvious note, but it's a really good note.
Yeah, I'm in kind of like a love-hate relationship with the song. Not hate. Hate is a very strong word, right? But kind of like love and dislike. So I think that listen, I think it's a great vocal delivery. Obviously, we're on the same spot as that. This belongs in a Bond film. It's definitely Bond-ish with a modern twist. So excuse me. I had like a kind of like urge overkill vibe with this one, where I was thinking, like this could fit in a Pulp Fiction soundtrack as well, if we were to remake that movie. And again, a strong vocal delivery, great vocal delivery. Love the line. Starts with a whisper, ends with a scream. Okay. So here we go. Get some production issues. Ooh, it's a bit wonky at places where certain instruments are louder than others. Excuse me real quick here, because let me get this, because my throat is like super itchy for whatever reason here. And
I was just overdubbing it as well. I was trying to overdub your coughs.
Were you?
Ahem. There's your cough.
I wanted to do a trumpet noise.
Aside from that, it's just a tad too long. But I mean, as a Bond theme, it really wouldn't be too long. But I mean, as a radio kind of like song, it would be a bit too long, right? So overall, an enjoyable song. It's just yeah. I'm not there with the top three choices, so that'll be my 2 cents. In either case, Fidelity pushing out some great music there. So once again, folks, do visit the video description below. Find the links to these artists, and if you like that song or any of the other ones, then please do make them your own on your Spotify playlist, on your Slaps playlist, whichever one you happen to be. Please do share these musicians also on your favorite social media platform. Let's show some love and try to get these musicians a little bit of that spotlight that the mainstream musicians do have. So I see Ferrero the Frog coming out, and the Owl, Simon Owl. And what are we doing here? Because I have no idea what's going on. Because
I've been expecting you, Mr. Thomas.
That's right. We're Bond villains.
Yes, we forgot to get them out at the what's it called? The Purple Bowl of Destiny. So sorry to Owl fans and for Ferrero fans. It's I'm sorry you missed the Owl this week. Owl will return in the next Owl movie.
In the next Owl movie, and Ferrero shall return in.
Oh, I don't know when I'll return.
Wow, that's the first time we've heard him speak. What did he actually say?
I think he said he doesn't know when he'll return.
That's right, I did.
He sounds a bit like Socky, actually.
He does sound similar to
Yeah, I
Socky,
think I've just stolen. I mean, Ferrero's stolen Socky's. Stop doing an impression of Socky, Ferrero.
Abuse.
We've said before that he's quite a coarse and rude frog or toad, whatever.
Ferrero the horny toad, yes. So,
So your top three. So what's it going to be? I think I have mine sorted out. I know my top three, but I don't know the order of it yet. So I've just got to have a quick think about that. Because
how about you, Smart Monkey? Do you have your top three in order?
Yes, I think I do actually.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
So number three for me is. Did we say it was Maleja? Is that how we say it? Maleja?
So.
I believe it's Maleja. Considering the region, I believe it's Maleja.
Maleja with Strong Enough. I thought that was a pretty impressive track, especially when you take into account the age. And I just thought, so beautifully done, so beautifully sung, produced, could be sitting on movies, that one. Number two is, and this was a toss up between number one and number two, but in the end, I've decided number 2 on this one is LOTZO with Gravity. For me, really enjoyed that track. But it was pipped to the post for me by Adam Briscoe with Bonfire. I was just blown away with that one tonight. I thought it was a really good radio-friendly, radio-ready song, and just appealed to me. But those two were very close. LOTZO and Adam were very close for me.
So far, it looks like we're on the same train of thought, just different positions on the train. Carlos Fandango.
Well, more or less the same train of thought, except I will have Fidelity in my top 3. Shout outs to all the artists tonight. They're all good songs tonight. We had quite a strong show, particularly with the inclusion of the 2 good Purple Bowl Destiny songs, which vied for contention as well in their own ways. So for me, this is really tough because the 3 songs I've chosen, I like them all. So I'm going to go LOTZO with Gravity at number 3. It could easily be 2 or 1, to be fair, because it's that good. And it's very commercial and poppy. But I'm thinking about the ones that I'd probably listen to the most. I think Fidelity Whisper could vie for number 1, but it's gone into my number 2.
Yeah.
I love the song. Sorry, Fidelity, you're in my number 2. Don't shout about it, just whisper. And so my number 1, like Rob, I think, the more I hear it, the more I like it. I mean, Adam Briscoe at the start of the night would have been number 3, maybe number 2. But now I've heard it again, I'm thinking, no, this is a really good song, a good young prospect, a really passionately delivered vocal, and a good song. And it's just a really good song. I would encourage Adam to sort of do a radio edit on this one, just so that you've got 2 options and 2 different versions. And I think it would probably benefit from being about 4:15, 4:20 long. Personally, it's fine as it is, but I think it would probably help it a little bit to be more commercially viable if it was slightly shorter with a nice little fade out, maybe some sort of solo. But Adam, great song with passion and gusto, well composed. Number 1 for me.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, once again, we're not far off. So, to everybody that's on the show today, just, as far as the top 3 is concerned, don't take any offense to it. It's just kind of like what rings in our own individual ears. You all did a fantastic job. We had especially a very strong, I'm going to say, first half to the show. I don't think that the second half of the show lived up to quite my expectations because the first half was just really banging. So I got to say, for my shout out, I'm going to go with Adam Briscoe with Bonfire. That's my shout out. Great song. No offense on putting you as a shout out here, but I got to say that number 3. I'm going to go with Wil Liv with Playlist. That'll be my number 3. Once again, talking about it the way that we did, it was a refreshing piece of music to have heard in an otherwise kind of like, overblown sea of fish in that particular style of music, right? So my number 2 will be LOTZO with Gravity. Very much thoroughly enjoyed that song, and we'll look forward to playlisting it and hearing it again. And my number 1, I gotta say, was our show opener. Bumpy Ride by the Riot Boots.
Yeah,
I gotta say, it was a really good song. It was really catchy. I mean, you pretty much have everything going on there, from the commercial element of it. The album artwork is just hot. The song is hot. The grooviness to it is hot. So I got to say that's going to be my number 1. It's going to be the Riot Boots with Bumpy Ride. It's definitely one of the better songs that we have heard on this show.
I was hoping you'd put Playlist in your top 3 because I was just hoping you'd like it, because I thought, I think this might appeal because it's got that Weird Al Yankovic type thing and Eminem and hip hop comedic element. I was just hoping you'd sort of latch onto that. So that's good.
Yeah,
Playlist.
I didn't say that was my shout out. I didn't say it.
Oh, I thought Tom said, wasn't it?
No, it was me that did. I missed my shout out. I went straight into the top
Oh,
three, and I missed that.
yeah,
that
so
one
did
was
I.
my shout out.
But I thought Tom just put that in his top
Yeah,
three.
yeah, Tom House.
No, it was in my top three. My
Yeah,
my shout out was Adam Briscoe.
Yes.
Yeah, my shout out was Adam Briscoe because I mean it's a really good song, you know. No production issues really, like we talked about, you know, during the show as we were reviewing. But I mean the song was great. I just think that, you know, for the other contenders that I had chosen, those would personally be my choices, right? So once again, personally my choices. Other people may feel differently about each individual song, right? Again, we had a really strong, really strong first half of the show. The Purple Bowl of Destiny chose well, and it's not like we had a horrible second half of the show.
No.
We had a great second half of the show. It's just I feel that the second half of the show kind of lagged behind the first half of the show, you know, because the first half of the show is really once again very strong music with very great performers. And again, it's not to say that Maleja you know, with Strong Enough wasn't great. I mean, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I just feel that, you know, with the way that her music is going now, she's really going to become a superstar, right? So I mean, we're on the show we're and we do wish her the best. And, you know, just to give these guys a bit of that extra boost. Once again, Adam Briscoe is a shout out. Playlist from Dan Wil Liv, LOTZO with Gravity, and the Riot Boots with Bumpy Ride. Those are in order my favorites for this evening. I do wish everybody obviously the best because you know, Smart Monkey, Carlos Fandango, and myself, we are musicians. We do understand the time and the devotion that you actually put into your craft. And there are no ill feelings here at the Underground Sound at all. Sometimes we may get off into that little tangent where it's, you know, a Simon Cowell moment, but there's no hatred to be given here towards anybody or their music. You're all doing a super fantastic job. You really are. And we do understand what you're putting into it. It's just, once again, what hits our ears differently may hit your ears differently. You might agree with us, you might disagree with us, and you know, you may have a different top three than we do. If you do have a different top three than us, then we would love for you to post it in the comments below. If you don't want to, obviously don't, but we would love to hear from you because we're trying to build some engagement with this show so that way we can actually put the spotlight on these indie musicians, because the indie musicians is what the song is what the show is really all about. It's exposing the people who need to be exposed. This is the stuff that we need to be listening to on the radio, and this is the stuff that we really need to be hearing in our daily lives, and not just the mainstream crap that the record companies have basically invested millions of dollars into to try to, you know, turn a bit of a profit on and everything like that. So speaking of radio stations, once again, real quick, please do visit the usundergroundsound.com. I've been doing updates recently, and I'm trying to finagle and work everything out there. And the radio station will be making a comeback very shortly. Have high hopes and high expectations for that one. Just with the minimal advertising that I have going on for the website, which is basically the show and like 25 cents per day that I'm putting into Google advertising. So last month there were 1,348 visitors to the website. So we do hope that you will join us on the website. We do hope that you will enjoy the radio station there. And again, please, if you have a top three of your own, leave us comments below. If you liked a particular song or a particular comment or a particular joke or whatever the case may be, do leave it in the comments below. Share the show, please. I mean, doesn't take but 2 clicks of a mouse, and you know, you're back onto your favorite kind of like social media platform, and let's just let's just get the music out there. Let's really, really kind of like focus on getting these indie musicians heard, so that way we could hear even more and more of this music that is out there. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
No, just echoing what you say. You know, it's difficult to pick sometimes who are in your top three, and it's you know, we've had some cracking tracks, and especially Purple Bowl did us proud this week. So you know, at the end of the day, it's a bit like we've said before. What would you normally put into your playlist and listen over and over again? And that's a big determining factor. Or sometimes it's just something that's a little bit more quirky, something that just pushes your interest that little bit more because it's a little different than other things that just nudge it up to the top. But you know, as Tom said, strong start, and we've had shows like that before where it's weighted all to the beginning or all to the end. But nah, I've enjoyed it. It's been a good show. My only regret is that I hadn't had a pre-listen on my Uber speakers to hear it in its purest. But other than that, it's been good fun, good show.
Yeah, and the fact is actually that LOTZO's Gravity got into all of our top threes, so that's probably our collective song of the night. Even though it might be number 3, number 2, or number 1, you know, in different places, it's the one that appeared consistently. So it's definitely probably the most commercially viable song of the night.
Could very well be. We had mentioned with LOTZO. Let me just check my notes again to make sure I'm not talking on my ass there right now. Yeah, LOTZO, as mentioned, was kind of like it had that Gorillaz vibe to it. Great fun, a Jamiroquai vibe to it. Definitely playlist the song. We do hope that you will check out usundergroundsound.com, visit our Spotify playlist. You know, the more engagement that we get here, folks, honestly, is the more engagement that we get for these artists. Truly, really, that's all that we're really trying to do here. Is you know, we have a great bit of fun doing this show. Obviously, we're having a few cocktails as we record, and we tell jokes and everything, and that's just kind of just to kind of like break up everything like that. So, again, don't take offense if you did not make a top 3 or anything like that. We just, I mean, I lost my train of thought.
I think well, I was just going to add one more closing thought, is the radio station. We've mentioned it, Tom touched on it there, but it's what's going to be particularly different and interesting about it is because we're going to be playing a lot of your favorites and familiar songs, all different types of genres, different types of music. But also 50% of the output's going to be independent artists. All you guys, all the music you're making and creating, we're going to get as much of that as we can. All the best songs that we deem as, you know, their favorites, and direct submissions, of course, going to get played. So it's going to be an opportunity to get your music heard on a radio station, and hopefully we can grow it as a community together and get your music out there to the wider audience.
That's a good point, actually, what you raised there. So, you know, as we were building these radio playlists, you know, as Carl said, that we're trying to pick independent artists and marry them up with known artists, so you can hear your music in context with big names. And you know, as I've been putting together my first playlist, it's amazing just how well these unsigned artists sit in that list. And you know, what we're hoping to do is to give those artists that opportunity to hear themselves as if they were equally or at an equal status as those bigger bands when it comes to being put on a radio playlist. And hopefully when it all goes out and we air it, you know, people will realize just how well some of these unsigned independent artists fit in a radio station that's going to be, as Carl said, predominantly 50-50 weighted, if not maybe more in the favor of the unsigned artists in certain cases. What radio stations do that very often? Not many. So hopefully we'll be a little bit more unique.
Well, to piggyback off that comment there, and I'm thinking it's going to be a bit of like a 75-25 because I do want to have a full indie playlist. But to Rob's point, and Rob put it very elegantly there, is that we're going to marry like your song with a comparable song, and you'll be able to listen to that live basically on the radio. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I think that it's going to be a great hit. I really think that there's going to be a lot of musicians and fans, for that matter, that do appreciate that, because listening to the show on YouTube is one thing. Listening to the radio station and just having no visual and just really using your ears is going to be something completely different. So as an example, for today's songs that I heard, is I would definitely do a track like, let's say, Eminem, Without Me, followed immediately by Wil Liv with Playlist. And that's kind of the way that we're going to be going with the radio stations. So the radio station should be super interesting. And we do introduce the songs, and we do make it known who is doing what. So please do stay tuned for that. So once again, usundergroundsound.com, you'll get all the news on this show, just in case, for whatever reason, YouTube bans us or kicks us off. We've been kind of fearful about that a few times, because I more so really, when they sent me the email that we were promoting the war, I was like, what? What are you talking about? Like, this was months ago, obviously, and I was kind of like, I was very scared that we were kind of like maybe a little bit close to the end over there. But all it really takes is one thing to kind of like piss off the algorithm and piss off the computer who's really keeping track of this whole thing for this channel to go bye-bye. So I do encourage all, please do visit usundergroundsound.com. Sign up for the mailing list. Any kind of like big news and huge news, we'll email you there. And so for tonight, which is June 1st, as a matter of fact. So, hey, for anyone that's in Florida, the Caribbeans, or the or anywhere in the tropics, happy hurricane season, or happy beginning of hurricane season to you. We've been having a lot of funky weather so far. So yeah, but June 1st to anybody else, then just, hey, it's pretty much the start of summer. Summer's here. Go out, enjoy yourselves. It's not technically summer yet. Well, not literally summer. Technically, yes, but not literally summer yet. I'm just starting to talk way too much. So I don't know if I'm trying to like wrap it up like way too quick, because it's like Carlos's bedtime and everything like that. It's just like I have a lot of thoughts in my mind since we've been talking about our top 3 in the radio station and everything like that. So I'll just close it off with saying that I am DJ X Tech. With me, as always, is Smart Monkey and Carlos Fandango. Together, we are putting the us back into music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we will find the music that you love to hear.
And don't forget to click on the little bell icon on YouTube so that you get all the notifications on whenever Tom uploads any new Underground Sound videos, which is incredibly, very exciting. And also, the show, of course, we've been whizzing through the show a lot quicker than last week's one. So you'll find we started about there, and we've gone through so quickly. There's about an inch to spare of the show, so that's pretty good going.
Oh,
good night.
We got shrinkage now, is what we.
There's only an inch left.
But it's one of those candles that measures everything by a year. So we've only been on this show tonight for 3 years.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's how long we took. Just 3 years.
It's only been 3 years. Huh?
Well, what I'll do.
Lit again. You blew it out.
Well, I realised I said good nights, and I want to say that right at the end when we say our goodbyes and everything. I'll blow it out then. I'll give it a blow right at the last knockings.
It better all go dark.
Ooh, that sounds kind of exciting.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. I could turn off the light, couldn't I, and make it all go dark.
We need to leave you till last then.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. Did you turn off the light?
I can do. Look.
Oh, there you go.
It's not going to quite work, but we'll see.
No, turn off the light. It was good. Yeah, that works. Oh, even you could.
Oh, you mean I look better in the dark?
Yeah, you look much better in the
Yes.
dark.
You're gonna have to move the flame like kind of like in front of. Well, now you completely disappeared, like right there. So
I know what I'll do. Yeah, don't worry. I'll wait for you guys to say your bits.
I'm DJ X-Tech saying Das Vidania.
Oh, that's very posh. All I can say is goodbye. Goodbye.
And I'll say good night. Sweet dreams.